How is your fundraiser going this year? If it's anything less than amazing, it's time to talk to Shawn Murphy at FanPledge. No product to sell, nothing to deliver, and guaranteed results. Raise at least 10% more than your current donation based fundraiser, or it's free. Fun, fast, proven. Call Shawn at 903-948-7348. FanPledge. The champions are already on board. Are you? Band Yap is proudly sponsored by Troubadour Consultants. When it comes to planning group travel for your fine arts program, look no further than Troubadour Consultants. Whether you're organizing a major out-of-state trip or need top-notch accommodations for the state marching contest, John Mize and his team are ready to create a custom travel experience that meets your band's unique needs. As a family-owned, band director-run company, Troubadour understands exactly what it takes to make your trip stress-free and seamless. Plus, when you book a trip with Troubadour, they will sponsor a $500 college scholarship for a student in your band. Directors who book will also receive a free Mollard baton as a special thank you. Visit troubadourconsultants.com today to start planning your next trip with the experts who truly get it.
Do you refer to it as a band hall or a band room?
Okay, so now band hall, because I drank the Kool-Aid, but when I first got here, definitely band room. I was like, band hall, why do they keep calling it? And I'm like, the band room, and they're like, no, it's the band hall. I'm like, okay. I was thrown into my first year of teaching and was like, what is UIL? I didn't know what any of that stuff was. In South Carolina and Tennessee, we have a state contest, state festival type of thing. But it was what's the culture like in Texas?
Hello and welcome back to Band Yap. My name is Alexa Sanchez.
And I'm Jose Sanchez.
Why did you have to do
because
that?
I have to change it up every now and then.
Well,
I know that gets you.
And we have someone here now that's fresh from the Grand Canyon.
Fresh
we have
off the plane.
Fresh from the Grand Canyon, off the plane, rolled into the podcast studio, Nicole Davis. Hi, Nicole.
Hi. Hello.
So are you crunchy? Are you a crunchy person?
Wow, right out the gate.
Are granola?
Yeah, are you granola? Are you crunchy? You wear chacos everywhere other than band rehearsals?
I don't own a pair of chacos, but I do have little Skechers sandals that I wear everywhere.
You have to have the orthopedic foot,
Yeah, I know that.
The orthopedic foot.
It's
because
important.
there was a hot second where everyone was really into their chacos, and
I like chacos.
Oh, I mean, so do I. I like them just fine. But everyone's like, look at my chaco tan. And it was just a symbol, a status symbol where you're just a little extra crunchier than everyone else.
Yeah.
I feel like you're adding Mike Hamilton right now.
A little bit. Do you drive a Jeep?
I don't.
Okay.
I drive
Good for you.
an old Ford Focus.
Ooh. Respectable.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's okay. Great.
Love that.
Yeah.
We're balling on a budget.
Hey, girl, preach. But have you ever interacted with Jeep people?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the extreme crunch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I have a friend who teaches in the Dallas area, and him and his wife, who she's expecting a baby and stuff too. They're both expecting a baby. They have a Jeep and they camp all over the place.
Yeah, see what I mean? So, and they're their own little cult. The duck
Jeep
thing.
People?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the most unreliable vehicle on the road.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wind catches it the wrong way.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to crank roll down the windows. It's true.
So Grand Canyon, what are we doing in the Grand Canyon?
So it was my Nana. That's my grandma, right? That's what we call her. It was her 80th birthday.
Oh.
And so a couple years ago, actually, 2019-ish, I was asking her if she could go anywhere in the world, where would it be? And she said the Grand Canyon. And we had a trip actually planned right before COVID. And so when COVID came, we didn't get to go on the trip. And we just rescheduled it, and it lined up to where we got to see the canyon on her 80th birthday. So it was amazing.
So that's so heartwarming.
Okay, first of all, Nana, shout out.
Yeah, I
baller.
know. Shout out, Nana.
Baller. be 80 years old and go to the Grand Canyon.
Good for her.
Oh yeah, and she hiked like 4.5 miles.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
I need to
Goals.
get outside.
Yeah,
I need
really.
to get outside. I need
Same.
to do something.
Gosh, be
I
more
was-
like Nana.
I
For
know.
real. No, I was like shocked because I was like, I don't know if she's gonna be able to like climb stairs and all that. And she was like balancing, like hopping rock to rock.
Wow.
Like,
What you need to do is take Nana to a Blue Coats rehearsal and let her run choreo.
honestly, I need to do that for sure.
Get out of
Yeah.
the way, children.
There's actually like a really funny story. She like drove up to Blue Coats last year, like from South Carolina, and it's like a 12-hour drive from where we live in South Carolina to Blue Coats. And she was like, "Hi, sweetie, I'm gonna come visit." And I was like, "Okay, cool." Like I thought she was gonna bring like Papa and like maybe her son or whatever, like, and come to Blue Coats. But no, this lady, she just got in her car and drove. No cell phone, no GPS, just asked
Nana.
the people at the gas station like how to find Alliance, Ohio. And so I didn't even know where she was, and she shows up to Blue Coats, and our ensemble coordinator, Ryan, he was like, "Hey, your grandma is here?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh." It was like 3 days later.
We have a Nana in the parking lot. Nana.
No, literally. No
Man,
sleep.
they don't make people like that anymore.
I
No,
know, right?
absolutely
My
not.
Goodness gracious. You know what, Nicole? We need you to get Nana on the podcast, quite honestly.
For real.
There's a lot of life that has been lived here.
She sounds
Oh,
way more
yeah.
interesting than me.
For real. She's more interesting than me too.
Oh, that's great. That
Nana.
is so good. That is a good way to
You
start
go,
off the pod-
Nana.
Yeah, go,
You
Nana.
have to send this to her.
I know.
All right. Well, Nicole, if you wouldn't mind, can you tell us about yourself, background, education, teaching experience?
Yeah, totally. So, I'm from South Carolina, born and raised in Pawleys Island, and it's kind of a small town by the ocean, and it's in between like Charleston, Myrtle Beach area. So pretty small group of kids that I grew up with. Went to Waccamaw High School out there. It was a 2A school, pretty small band program. We had about 40 people total. Then I went to the University of South Carolina for a little bit. I was a flute player all through high school, and then in college I started playing the bassoon. So I started at USC on flute and was also doing bassoon, but then I transferred to Middle Tennessee State University to do bassoon with Gil Perrell, who's a performer with the Nashville Symphony out there. So I lived in the Nashville area. It's called Murfreesboro, Tennessee, for the last bit of college. And then after that, I came to Houston, which is where I got my first job. So I've lived, like South Carolina, Tennessee, got to work with like a ton of band programs out in Tennessee while I was in college, which was like awesome to be a part of and learn from. And then after that, straight to Houston, and then taught in Houston for 3 years. After Houston, I taught in Dallas for 1 year, and then I've been at Hendrickson in the Pflugerville area since then.
Wow. So you legitimately come from a small school. I mean, like, I
Yeah.
think I looked up the population of the high school, and the population is like 787 in the high school.
Exactly.
4A.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'd be a 4A here, but the band program was only about 40 kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think we did like a lot of different things. So like, I don't know. It was interesting because it was like a really like tight knit band program too. So maybe I would say like 40, and then maybe plus like some color guard, maybe total on like heavier years like 50 max. But yeah, no, like everyone seemed to really like it. We had like really, really dedicated band directors. So like the middle school director was like really invested, and we formed like a lot of close bonds. But I don't know. I think a lot of people out there do things like fishing and surfing and like other things outside of like just school activities. There's like a really big like I guess, like, religious church scene out there as well. And so, like, a lot of people would do, like, school and then be, like, really involved with that. So, I don't know, I think that Texas definitely has a little bit more of, like, a band and, like, marching band type of culture to where, I think it's more normalized in Texas for kids to be in band, like, I guess a little bit more.
Well, yeah, that was gonna be my question is like, what has been the biggest differences since like that is the product you grew up in versus the product you're teaching in now? Like, what's the difference between the South Carolina scene to the Texas scene?
Yeah, Texas definitely has a lot more structure, whereas, like, in South Carolina, it was a lot of fun, and it was very, very student-led. So, like, we would start our rehearsals, and, like, the students would lead the stretch, and then we'd go outside into our grass, like, band lot area. Like, everywhere that you rehearse in South Carolina is, like, a grass field somewhere. And the students then would lead like student led sectionals and stuff like that. And so like I think it was a lot more like in the students' hands in South Carolina, whereas like in Texas, it's like we have the 8 hour rule, and we have so many different band directors and different specialty people. Like we have like a woodwind band director and a brass band director and a percussion band director and a color guard specialist. And I think that like at least from my experience in Texas, it's been a lot more structured out. That to say, like, um, the directors in South Carolina, like, we had 1 middle school band director for the whole thing and 1 high school band director, and they definitely, like, gave us a lot of tools to be successful, and, also encouraged us to step up and lead the band program from within.
Well, that says a lot about student leadership. And it's turned out pretty well because from what I know, you're doing a fantastic job, and you're involved in a lot of different like activities as when it comes to the marching arts, which we'll get to. But if would you be able to say that you would be where you're at if you didn't have those same type of experiences in high school?
I would not be where I'm at if I didn't come from a small school, I don't think. And obviously there are many ways to get somewhere, whatever that is. But I definitely think that being a part of a small band program and seeing my band directors do it all as one human being, that's the thing that inspired me. It wasn't like oh, well, I'm a flute player, so I can't march drum corps because I play flute. It was like oh, well, my teacher teaches everyone, and so I need to know how to teach everyone. And so it was like a no-brainer that I was gonna go, like, do drum corps because, like, my band director who did drum corps also was very fluent on all the woodwind instruments? So,
Well, that once again comes back around. Like you have to like you put yourself out there as far as like that drum corps scene and things like that, saying like I'm a woodward person, but I know I need to go do drum corps, I need to be involved in this in some way. And I think that's something a lot of Texas kids and a lot of Texas people kind of put themselves in a box about, is like, oh, I play flute, I could never do any type of drum corps. It's like, well, like there's a balance that you can figure out. You maybe not be able to march right away, but maybe you can go do something else. Like they're always looking for drum major positions or some type of staff position, or like get your foot in more than anything else, because all that's going to do is open up the door for you to maybe, hey, this is what you need to do to get on the brass line.
yes. And I make sure that I tell my students that, like, if they are a woodwind player and they're like, "Oh, that's so cool, I wanna do it." It's like, "You can do this." And, like, once you learn one instrument, you can learn multiple instruments. Like, you speak the language? And, I'm seeing more and more, like, I just saw one, like, yesterday. It was, like, I think Grapevine High School, something like that. I saw, like, a wanting an assistant band director post, and it was, like, preferably woodwind and preferably DCI experience and stuff like that. And it's like, not that you should do drum corps just because it would lead to a job or anything like that, but it is an experience that makes you a chameleon. And the more experience you have dabbling in different elements of what we devote our profession to, our passion, the more like opportunities that they're going to have later on because of it.
Oh, and like for you, you played flute in high school. And so you said single band director at the high school, single band director at the middle school. And then you went to South Carolina and you studied flute there, yes? And then you switched over to bassoon.
Yeah.
Okay. What made that decision happen?
Kind of funny story. I was like working like 3 jobs while going to college, and I saw that they had available scholarship for bassoon, and the flute professor at USC is also married to the bassoon professor there. And
Nice.
so I just picked up the bassoon like almost immediately when I got there, and I was like, I'm going to learn this so that hopefully I can get good at it and get a scholarship. So, but I found out that MTSU, they waived in-state tuition, and they also gave a really hefty scholarship. And so it went from like me doing all my classes and teching at a local high school, and then also working, 2 other jobs as a waitress to try and like pay for my own college, like pay for my apartment rent in Columbia and all that, to I can focus my attention to learn this thing that not a lot of band directors know, like bassoon either. And so I could be like, this is something that I can learn for my future and learn how to do this, but also solve the problem of the finances.
Yeah. Well, do you have huge hands? I have small hands. Do you remember the Burger King commercials with the guy with the small hands
Yes.
eating the hamburger? That's me. I have small hands.
You don't have your hands aren't
They're
that
not.
small.
They're not proportionate to my forearms. They're not.
No, you don't have our hands are the same size.
I know, which is like sad. I have small hands. I can't help it. I mean, I was born with these hands, but my forearms are much larger.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. So going from flute to bassoon, that's like not a decision. I would go, what sounds great? I'm going to go from tuba
Or just easy
to oboe.
Yeah.
Tuba to oboe. That sounds great.
I'd love to see you try.
I'd rather not.
They're so similar.
Yeah. The back pressure.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I could not with the oboe. Like I was like, oh yeah, okay, I'm playing bassoon. I can totally I can pick this thing up, and like the headache that I got.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Nope. Well, and then like for you to do all those different types of things, you've made yourself like almost indispensable. That's when it comes to being a part of a program. Like you can do almost anything that you need to do to be successful, like as far as like the instrument stuff, because you do have a DCI story and you marched and you have some pedagogy, a lot of pedagogy in like brass playing and then the marching arts. And so that really builds up your resume and your experiences. And that gives a very, very good role model to say, hey, this is all the things that I've done. And this is all what you're capable of. So let me ask you this. You said that you had to support yourself in a lot of ways. What do your parents do?
My dad is a mechanic. And my mom actually passed away when I was 12. It's okay. All good.
So very blue collar.
Yeah.
So like when it came to like the support from your dad and like a single parent household, like how was that in your band journey?
Okay, so it was really tough actually. So my parents divorced when I was like 10, which already kind of like made finances tough because, like we had a house and all that and had to like split that living situation. And then whenever my mom passed when I was 12, like the finances got like really hard. And so like I remember like every single night we would eat spaghetti and whenever we were like gonna like treat ourselves, like we could afford like the 69-cent tacos at Taco Bell. And that was like growing up through high school. Like there were a lot of points where like I actually only got good at music because I like lived in a house with like no air conditioning, no cable, no like nothing. It was just like we had lights, we had water, and it was like the middle of the South Carolina like summer, right? And so I was like, I do not want to play this flute, and I like got so bored living in the middle of nowhere that I picked up that flute. And so that is like that's kind of like where all of the creativity like started, was like that situation. But like weirdly enough, when I was in my junior year of high school, he won the lottery. But like not like a million bajillion dollar lottery, but like a $200,000 lottery. Obviously like taxes were taken out and stuff like that. I know you look shocked.
What's that movie with Nicolas Cage?
I don't know.
You know, where he's a cop and like he wins the lottery
Yeah,
for the
but I don't-
scratch off ticket or something like that.
I don't know what it's called though.
It's like it's not Raising Arizona. That's exactly. I'm gonna have to look this up. So your dad won the lottery.
Yeah, and so I was like taking a history test. Like it was like a final exam in history for the semester, and I got a text from him that was like, "Hey, I just won the lottery. I'm coming to your school." And I'm like, "What's happening?" And so like we like literally were about to like have our house foreclosed on. Like it was like bad. And so that one thing like changed the trajectory of like a lot. And so that's what like I was able to afford my first year of drum corps fees, which at that time in 2013 was like $2,000, which is very different from now. But like if he hadn't won the lottery that day, it would have been a lot harder
Yeah,
to do
I
that.
mean,
Crazy.
that is like wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the movie's called It Could Happen to You.
Okay.
The synopsis is that when kind-hearted New York cop, when he realizes he has no money to tip a waitress, Lang offers her half the winnings of his lottery ticket. Amazingly, the ticket happens to be a winner in the sum of $4 million.
Wow. Yep. Never thought my life would relate to a Nick Cage movie, but here we are.
Wow. You've never stolen the Declaration of Independence?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
There's still time.
Shh, they're listening. Wow, that's an amazing story because like I mean a mechanic is blue collar. You know, those guys work.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And it's not like you get home and it's like, oh, everything's hunky dory. It's not
Yeah.
like they are tired, they're beat up.
Nicole's upbringing sounds very similar to yours.
Yeah.
You just didn't have a family member win the lottery.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah, we can only dream.
Yeah, there's still time.
But like that's awesome. I mean, but that experience probably gave you a lot of scope
Perspective.
and perspective to like what it is to be, how you gauge your success, and then what it is to work hard. Because how many times do we see people who have a head start on the opportunities just because they're financially in a steady place?
Often.
Yeah. I mean, because you currently teach at Hendrickson High School, and the demographic there is probably more on the upper middle class than other places that you have taught.
Yes.
Okay. Where was your first job at?
My first job was on the southeast side of Houston in Pasadena. It's where all of the oil refineries are in Houston. And it was a very Title I area, amazing, hardworking kids. But like, you know, it was a lot tougher for kids to take private lessons and all of that stuff. And so we had to, you know, be really creative about how we could, you know, affect them without having as much like community financial support.
Yeah. Well, you also like start to realize like so there are some kids like for us, I've talked to my head director from high school several times. He goes like, Jose, I can't have this rehearsal on this day, or I'm going to be missing this many kids because little Susie Q is going to be, she has to babysit her 3 younger siblings because her mom's working,
Yeah.
those types of things. And that's not always the case in more affluent areas.
Exactly. Yeah, when I was teaching it at Pasadena Memorial, I like 4 or 5 kids in our saxophone section all worked at this donut shop. And so they would like go to school all day, go to band rehearsal, go home, eat dinner, sleep for like 3 hours, and then at like 2 a.m. they were working at the donut shop. Like every day, and they would work at the donut shop, and then they would come to school and rinse and repeat. And like and many kids, like a lot of kids like had, parents that owned restaurants or gas stations and like things like that. And so it's like like a lot of those kids had to help out their families, and it wasn't like an option, you know.
Well, if they can provide, well, that's the same thing with like Hispanic families. Like the way I grew up, and this is the way my dad, told me. And when I asked, like, hey, why is our family so large? And my dad goes, well, son, you got to think about this. When I was a kid, where did everyone work? They worked in the fields. They worked in the grain fields, the cotton fields. They worked on all these fields, and they need more workers. So people had kids in order to have more workers for the fields. And so that way, yeah, it's more mouths to feed, but it's less money people have to pay, especially if it's a family owned business
Mm-hmm.
or a family run operation. And my
Exactly.
grandmother was a migrant worker. So her and her family, and that's actually how my grandparents met. They were
Mhm.
migrant workers and they camped in the same location. And so they would travel, and they had like 13 kids each, and they would
Wow.
travel. And then, they would just go hop from place to place, farm to farm, and work the farms. And that's how they got paid. They had more hands to get money for the house.
Right.
So it's just really different. And it's like interesting for you to say those things, because honestly, you would never know that talking to you,
Right.
like whatsoever. And that's like the nice thing about this. Like, I hate this podcast is that, like, oh, that person struggled, like talking to Brian over at Fredericksburg and some other people. It's just like they've had some hardships, and they're at where they're at because not because of anything else other than their like hard work and grit and just get after it attitude. So, I mean, that's really inspiring.
It's
That's
very
really cool.
important for people to hear stories like this.
Yeah, because how many people in our profession can look at you and go like, "Oh, you have such a great job. She marched drum corps and she just happens to be in the right situation." And it's like, no, you did the work and you did the thing, and you suffered through it. I mean, it took its pound of flesh, and
Totally.
they just don't see it.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I mean, that's
Yeah. It's important stuff.
Well, it's just like you look at some of these like powerhouse programs, and you see where they're at. Well, you never know where they started at.
Oh, for sure.
Or you don't know what some of those head directors go through behind closed doors, or the assistants and whatnot, the kind of damage the success takes on them personally, and what they had to do to get to that point of success.
That can be said about any situation in life. You can't judge a book by its covers. You can't, you never know the backstory unless you ask or have a podcast where you ask people on a microphone.
Yeah.
I guess.
So, Nicole, why band?
You're talking like why I chose to do band?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I didn't. I so I wanted to do like choir or theater, and I showed up to my first day of 6th grade, and my schedule said band, and so I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get that changed for sure." But I'm just gonna like go and like see it. And I went to the band class, and the band director, Miss Randall, she went through all the instruments and showed us all. And I was like, "Okay, that's cool, but I'm not gonna do this," you know. And my best friend at the time was like, "I'm gonna do it," and I was like, "Okay, sure." And so then we were like, "Okay, well, what do we want to play?" Because we were gonna play the same thing, right? And then we picked the flute because it was shiny.
It's a good
So
choice.
that's how that started.
And
Yeah.
life is just a series of happy little accidents.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
That's funny. So
Yeah.
It was shiny.
so so you go to Middle Tennessee, and then you decide you have to make it to Texas. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, I really didn't wanna teach in Tennessee, like, and it wasn't, like, anything I just, like I didn't really wanna live there, you know? And, when I was marching drum corps, I learned from so many awesome teachers, and I noticed that some of my, like, not that I had, like, favorite teachers, but, like, the ones that, like, made a huge impact on me, I was like, "Oh, they all have one thing in common, they're all from Texas." And so, like, I just knew that there was, like, a community in Texas, and there's a community everywhere, like, every state has its music community, but, I was really interested in what Texas was 'cause I am an outsider, from it, so, yeah, I just applied to jobs really, like, all over Texas and, yeah, and so Houston just ended up being where I landed and yeah.
Okay. What was it like applying for Texas jobs being a non-native?
I didn't really know any better, so I just like oh, okay. So I showed up to TMEA. This is back when they had the like career fair, and I remember, like, I met some people that, like, taught down in the valley, and I had no idea what the valley was or anything like that, and I was like, "Okay, this is cool, like, that's awesome," and then I didn't even, like, realize that it was gonna be, like, super far away from, like, any type of, like, metro area or anything like that, so I was like, "Okay, cool," and I, like, walked around, I met this woman, her name was Linda, Fletcher, and she was the fine arts coordinator of Pasadena, and I handed her my resume and she looked at it and she said, "I know exactly where I'm gonna put you." And so the head band director at the school that I first taught at, he was also from Tennessee. And so we had that in common, and he was like a WGI visual judge. So he actually had judged me when I performed with Rhythm X percussion. And so it was like, we had a lot of, like, parallels and stuff, and, so basically, like, I came down and I had the interview and that it just worked out.
Wow.
So was there ever a point that you felt like you were a little bit on the outside, not being like somebody who came through the Texas system?
Um, Not really. Like, it definitely was, like, a learning curve because I, like, was thrown into my first year of teaching and was like, "What is UIL?" I didn't know, like, what any of that stuff was. Like, in South Carolina and Tennessee, we have, like, a state contest, state festival type of thing, but, it was like, "Oh, what's the culture like in Texas?" But a lot of the, like, fundamental teaching principles, um, were very much what I had been exposed to in drum corps.
So we've talked about it and we've touched on it several times. So you have an extensive, from everything that you just said, an extensive amount of experience in drum corps as a performer. Can you run us through your drum corps experience and journey?
Yeah, sure. So I did 5 different drum corps. Like, I did one every single year. And I'll go into a little bit more like detail on that. But so I ended up showing up to my first drum corps camp. It was Music City, which is a group out of like the Nashville area. And I rode up with this guy. His name was James Barnes, and he actually like teaches in Keller now, even though we're like both from South Carolina. Anyways, he was like the brass caption head. I got in his car and we drove from South Carolina because that was like what you did. And I showed up and I went up to the corps director and I thought that the corps director was going to be like the band director, right? And so I was like, "Hi, I'm Nicole. I don't play brass and I also don't do color guard. Where do you want me? Do you want me in the brass or the color guard?" And I watched the corps director look down at the roster and he like examined it for a few minutes and he said, "You're gonna make a great mellophone player." And then he picks up he, he picked up the mellophone and he just gave it to me. And so I was like, okay, cool. And I had no idea. I was so in over my head. And I immediately went into this room with this mellophone that I have never played in my whole life. And it was a room, probably 20 something mellophones in this one like art room, and everyone is playing the Remington exercise. And I don't know what the Remington exercise is. I've never heard of it in my entire life. I don't know what fingers to press down, and I don't know how to hold it. So I have it up to my face, and I'm literally looking out of like the side of my eye, out of my peripheral vision, at what fingers the people next to me were putting down, and I was just trying to like play. And I like learned how to buzz in my audition. So, yeah, like they were really like awesome to take a chance on me. Like I could like march and stuff and follow directions and all that. But they like basically just taught me from scratch. So I started my first year there, and that was 2013. And after that season, Music City folded. So it was like I was going to go back. I was like, cool. You know, Spirit of Atlanta was my dream drum corps. And like by the time I aged out, I was going to march at the Spirit of Atlanta. And so Music City folded. They ended up coming back later, but so all of us were like, okay, well, what do we do? So like a group of us went over to Spirit, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna try, like, might as well, you know? And I ended up making it. And so I marched there. And yeah, after Spirit of Atlanta, it was this show that was called Magnolia, and just like the most adverse, gritty season of my entire life. Like we had the entire show is based on a tree. And so everyone was like, okay, like it's going to be like a southern show all about this tree, and like hyped it up like crazy. And so it's like the first show, we still don't have this tree. Like a couple shows in, the tree arrives. Like the admin goes and they go to California or wherever to go get the tree, and they bring it back and it's like a Bowflex machine. So it's like this tree is like maybe like 10 feet tall, and it's just this one tree, and there's no like leaves, no like flowers, no
Just a
nothing.
trunk.
Just like Bowflex machine. They're like, it's abstract, right? And so we on our like meal breaks would cut construction paper flowers out of paper, and we would stick it on the tree like for the show, you know. Anyways, just like I will remember that group of people like forever. Just like the most fun season ever, but also just so much like adversity and all that. So yeah, like Spirit of Atlanta, they were like you know, I think they were 11th place in 2013. It was 11th or 12th. It was like one of those. And then the year that I joined, like we like fell down to like I think 18th place. Like so anyways, a lot of people like ended up like leaving Spirit at that point. The entire staff changed over, and that's where I ended up at Phantom Regiment. So went to go march Phantom. Then after Phantom, I marched at the Blue Knights. Learned from a lot of really good brass pedagogy people, and then I aged out at the Bluecoats.
Man, I'm tired just listening to it.
Yeah.
So, do you have a core that, or a year that you just has a special place in your heart as far as like
besides the construction paper
yes
flowers?
Honestly, like a lot of them, like all of them were like special for like different reasons. The year that I marched Bluecoats, I thought it was like the best time. I thought like the season was amazing. I thought the people were amazing, the staff, everything about it.
That was your age out year yet? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I think your age out year is just a little bit more special. Like not only that, but you were different in the aspect that you had 5 years of different experiences that you could go like you could almost cherry pick your favorite experiences, and like that experience with that core that year would never be ruined by a second year.
Totally.
Just like anything else, like I mean, just in band directing, like one year is better than the others. Like, and there's something to say about loyalty to one set of programs or whatever, but like that was really cool about you is that you got to do all this stuff.
Yeah, no, totally. I think that learning from so many different people in the different organizations, like really made like my pedagogy like what it is, because I could be like, oh wow, like this person teaches very like sensation based, this person teaches very like based on what they're hearing, they can diagnose what's happening physically, all of that kind of stuff. And so like I think every teacher kind of has their thing, and I got to learn from so many teachers that had their own special thing that they, you know, really excelled at from a teaching perspective. That and like also just like the human beings that I got to march with. I think when you are in an organization, um, doing literally every single thing every day, like all day with the exact same people, like you get to know who they are and they get to know who you are in this way that like you can't you cannot hold a facade. You can't do that and like be in a group of people like that. Like everybody sees who you are and you see who they are. And it's a really beautiful experience to like go through something really hard with people and see how they react to it.
Yeah. Well, that's why like football teams are as tight knit as they are. And you know why drum corps are the way that they are or things like that. Because like you don't go through something like that, the hard work, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the hours, just like everything that you put into it, you know, and not build some type of relationship or connection with the people around you. Like you just
Totally.
can't. Like the time that I spent with my athletic buddies, that's just the way it was. The time I spent with my band kids, like that's just the way it was. And those are relationships that will never change.
The experience binds you.
Yep.
Totally. Yeah. And we'll like see each other like now, like just, I don't know, like whoever that I've like marched with, even if it was like a decade ago, you see them at some like event and you're like, instant like connection, you know,
Yeah.
instant like, okay, like you are someone now that I've known for a really long time and like a really good sense of trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's also says the same. Like it's like the same thing whenever I see somebody wearing Baylor gear.
Yeah.
Like I feel a connection to them automatically because like there's not a lot of people who went to Baylor.
The tie that binds.
Yeah. And it's just like the same thing with you. How excited do you probably get when you see somebody wearing Middle Tennessee gear in Texas?
Very. Yeah. It doesn't happen. Like I know like 2 other people in Texas that went to MTSU. Yeah, like period.
They have fantastic tuba euphonium studio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Chris there?
I remember
Is he
you
the
telling me
professor?
that before, actually.
I think he's a professor there.
I don't know.
What's his last name?
Combus?
Yes, Compass.
Yes.
Compass.
He's a good tuba player.
Yeah.
So, well, let me ask you this. What are your thoughts on barbecue across the states now that you've lived?
Okay.
In the
She's hit all
area?
3.
Yeah, you've done all 3 now.
Yeah.
Like, what are your thoughts on the barbecue
We're only
cultures?
missing Kansas City, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, like I'm really partial to South Carolina barbecue, but it's probably just because it's like what I grew up on. But like the mustard base, so good. Like the vinegary mustard, like add like hot sauce to it, like pulled pork or something. But also like the Texas barbecue. Like I don't think Tennessee barbecue like compares, period. But like definitely between South Carolina and Texas. But Texas is like, if I want ribs or something like that, I'm gonna like choose Texas. But if I want like a pulled pork or something, definitely South Carolina.
Yeah, the pork thing is so much more popular everywhere else.
Yeah,
than here.
outside of the state, yeah,
Mhm.
for
Like,
sure.
You
That's
know-
why I mean mustard-based, vinegar-based sauce pairs well with pork.
Yes.
It doesn't
Yes.
pair as well with brisket.
No. No.
Although in theory it would, because the acidity would balance the fattiness of the brisket. Anyway.
Yeah, I had actually never had brisket before I came to Texas.
See,
I was
and
like, you smoke it for how long? Like,
That's not shocking, but it does make me sad.
yeah,
I know.
because it is a glorious thing. You know, it's one
Yeah.
thing I can't get behind: beef ribs.
I
can't
know.
do it.
Mm-mm.
Oddly enough, that is
It's-
something that a lot of Texas pitmasters like to do too, and you are not into
Yeah,
it.
it's too fatty. It's too fatty for me.
Didn't
Yeah.
So when you went to Interstellar and you brought back barbecue,
Yeah.
they gave you a beef rib instead of pork ribs,
Yeah,
and that really hurt your feelings.
it did because I was looking forward to pork ribs.
I know. It's a shame. Hellberg has the best pork ribs.
I do.
What's your
enjoy-
favorite barbecue place in Texas?
Ooh,
This is such a hard question.
This is a hard question.
This is a hot take. I'm gonna say that my favorite barbecue place is the one that's local to us, because I feel like they're very consistent and I can have it basically anytime that I want. And it's still top 50. And I enjoy that meal most of the time more than I enjoy one of the other meals that we've had.
Now, okay. Now,
And
if
it's Hellberg. I mean,
yeah,
I
if
said it
you-
once, I'll say
yeah,
it again.
if you say, hey, like if I could cherry pick my favorite things from every single one, I think the way it
Yeah,
would
sure.
work, yeah, like Franklin's for me is
The
still the best
brisket.
brisket.
You don't like their sausage
I
at
don't.
all.
I hate their sausage.
Now, Interstellar has really good sausage.
Yes.
Okay, so you've been to Franklin's then. Like,
Yes.
was the line as long as they say?
Oh yeah.
We've done it. How many times do you think we've been?
I've stood in that line at least 5 times.
And we've done it both ways now, because the last time we went, it was like 2 p.m. and we just like hopped on. And we still got brisket.
Yeah. We went to actually it wasn't at Rise, was it? When we went to the
No,
Rise
it
Summit?
was before the Rise Summit.
Are you sure?
Yes, because we're like, we have a reservation.
Oh,
to
it
pick
was
up
when
La Barbecue.
we interviewed Reed.
Mhm.
We did a pickup over at Law Barbecue, and we just happened to, you know what? I want to do a side by side, and we went over to Franklin's and picked up brisket, and we just hopped. It was a 15-minute wait to get brisket.
Yep.
Oh,
And
not
So
bad.
yeah, not bad at all. So we did a side by side of brisket, Law Barbecue, Franklin's, and Franklin's won out
Yeah.
as far as
Yeah.
brisket.
We haven't been to a lot of the places that are on like the most recent top 10, because we've done Interstellar, and like a lot of the places that we've been to are no longer in the top 10. But I really, really want to go to Burnt Bean Co.
Oh, I've heard of
so
that.
bad.
Yep.
I want to go so bad. I feel like if we go there, that will be my favorite place. Just because I've like followed them for a long time. We never get out to Seguin, you know?
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
not a place that we travel through frequently.
Unless we're going to San Antonio.
We've only done it.
We can go. Hey, we can make it happen.
Yeah. And now they definitely have a line now
Yeah.
too. So they already did.
Yeah.
Before.
If you're ever in Waco, Hellberg is on the outside of town, but
They're
do
consistent. They're
yeah.
good.
Nice.
I tell you, their favorite thing for me is their smoked fried chicken.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's surprisingly good.
Like they smoke it first and
Huh?
then they put it in an air fryer afterwards.
So it's nice and crispy,
Ooh.
and
but
it
it's
is
still smoky.
so good.
Yeah.
Don't
I've
sleep
never
on
had that.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
It's very good. He does a lot of unique stuff. He has like I think he
Queso
still does it.
Romano.
Yeah, the sausage, but he does like a cranberry orange pork, and he does pesto turkey. But his brisket's really good. His ribs are really good. His sausage is like all handmade and excellent. So I very highly recommend.
Their
going
mac and
there.
cheese is pretty good.
Mac and cheese is very good.
Same thing with their banana pudding.
Oh yeah. See, it's hard to find something wrong.
Yeah.
It's also good. But yeah, I really want to go to Burnt Bean.
Moral of the story is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and that's where we're jealous of you because you live currently in the mecca of Texas barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to try more. I've only tried Terry Black's. I've tried Salt Lick.
Yeah.
Meh.
I've
I
never
think
been
that's
to
it.
the OG Salt Lake. I would like to go.
It's
Like
good.
in
It's different.
Driftwood.
It's different.
Terry Black's. We have a Terry Black's in Waco,
Yep.
Oh.
and I've also never been there.
Yeah. You need to go to Interstellar.
Mhm.
Interstellar was great.
Yeah.
You need the Franklin's. What's cool about the Franklin's thing? We've gone way off topic. You give us an opportunity to talk about barbecue.
It's called
that'd be
Band
great.
Yap.
Barbecue yap.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The nice thing about Franklin's is I love the brisket, but the nice thing about sitting in the line is like the experience with your friends, because we just don't always go. We don't go by ourselves. We go with a group of friends, and we're out there playing card games, and we're doing the
It's a social activity.
the libations, as they would say, morning libations, and just like having a good old time.
Yeah, it's fun.
Do you like have to stay in the line, or can you like play cards, like kind of like?
Oh yeah, it's
You stay in the line, and then the line. That's the interesting thing is people are like, it depends on where you go because Snow's is different. But like when you go to Franklin's, the line does not move until after 11 a.m.
Oh,
So if
and
you
you're
get
there
there,
at like 7 or
yeah,
something,
or
right?
before. So if
Oh.
you're there, like you sit there from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m., which means you're just stationary the whole time. So you can do whatever you want. You can play cards, all that stuff.
Yeah, we've gotten there at 7:15
Now,
a.m.
the difference about like between Franklin's and Snow's, Snow's
is in the
opens
middle.
at like 9 a.m.
Yeah, Snow's is also in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, but if you stand outside, like the line starts moving at like, I don't remember what time it is. It's like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. or something crazy.
Yeah, we
So it's like
also
you
got
can-
there at 7 a.m.
Yeah, and you can eat. You get to eat barbecue at like first thing in the morning, or take it home. I guess.
They
Honestly,
serve tacos, breakfast
yes.
tacos.
Ooh, yes.
You can actually order Snows on like Gold Belt. You can do Franklin too, but like you can order it online and they'll ship it to you.
Yeah.
Same thing with Franklin.
Yeah,
You can
because
order
I will order 5 pounds of brisket. I'm not like,
no, but
I
like
don't
they'll
care.
ship you a
Keep it in the
frozen one.
fridge.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
Ah.
it is. So we'll eat like brisket tacos in the morning, or like, well, she'll do some other stuff out of brisket.
I've made a lot of stuff out of that brisket.
I have no shame.
Very versatile.
Sanchez, your cholesterol's high. Yes. Yes. You ever see that Ron Swanson bit?
I
Give
feel
me
like half of the podcast that's not recorded is Ron Swanson bits
like, give me all the
and
bacon
Ron Burgundy bits.
and all the eggs that you have back there.
Uh-huh.
No.
I'm
What you
afraid you
heard?
misunderstood me.
What you heard was give me
All the bacon.
All the bacon. Yes, that's exactly.
That sounds
it.
like you.
Yes. Do you have a favorite part of the marching arts?
Hard reset.
Like socially, like that kind of thing. Or, like,
Anything
anything about it.
Anything to you?
I love like the ability. Like, are we like drum corps or like high school marching?
Your choice.
Your choice.
Okay.
Like, this is your
Yeah.
pod, girl. This is
Oh,
your
I
pod.
got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Like as far as like drum corps goes, I love the ability to travel. Like I love that it gives like performers like that experience of seeing somewhere outside of like where they grew up and stuff. And I think that it really like opened my eyes like when I got to travel around the country and stuff. So I think like from that perspective, like traveling, but also just like the life skills that it teaches for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Like self-development, like learning how to like truly like take care of yourself and make sure that you get to block on time and that you have all your necessary materials and just like a high standard of doing things. I think that that is one of the best transferable skills like possible, like that can be learned in the marching arts.
So let me ask you this. So when it comes to the marching arts, like, how has it helped you become a better educator? Like your DCI experiences.
Yeah. So basically like I've formed like my own pedagogy from just like learning from so many teachers. And it's like I learned how to like assess like an embouchure from like Steve Gullidge who like teaches out in Keller, and I learned how to learn like how to go to a release from Eric Prince, who lives out in Round Rock. And it's like I've learned so many different um specific skills from just like some masters at what they do. And just doing it for so long, and like being around so many people, like I actually have like a notebook that I have like every single thing that I've ever learned, like in drum corps, really, just like written down. And I'll still go back and be like, oh yeah, like I forgot about this exercise or this thing. And so it's something that I can like continuously like pull from. um and then just like still being involved in like the drum corps activity. It's like I'll do high school band teaching throughout the school year, but then every single summer when I go to Bluecoats, everybody comes back. Like these people that I teach with, everybody comes back every year with something new. And I'm still like, I've been teaching with these people specifically at Bluecoats now for like 3 years, and I'm still learning new things from them. And so I think like less of like a solid, like, I'm going to do it this way. It's like I get to continually evolve as I learn from people, and um you know see other ways of doing it. And everybody does things like just a bit different. Like each drum corps that I marched did this visual thing 5 different ways, this playing thing 5 different ways. And so all kids are different, and uh I have just been exposed to getting the same result in many different ways.
So you said you work for the blue coats, blue coats, blue coats. Actually, I think they have my favorite audience interaction out of any corps.
The bluing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is just like so cool.
I really want to get a blue coat shirt this year. I don't have one. I need to get one.
I remember going to my first DCI corps like show in San Antonio.
It's confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time, my first show ever to go watch was the one in San Antonio.
Yeah.
And
It's a good show.
It's a good show.
Yeah. And you're sitting there and all you hear is blue. I'm like, what is happening?
These people are so mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so like growing up in South Carolina, Carolina Crown is like the like hometown drum
Yeah.
corps type of thing. And so I had grown up hearing about how there was one drum corps that nobody liked because they were Carolina Crown's like arch nemesis. And all I knew is that like their color was blue. And like now knowing it was the Blue Devils, right? It was like 2012, and they were like going back and forth, just like normal rivalry stuff. But the Blue Coats came on the field, and I heard everyone blue, and I was like, that is so mean. I was like, just because they're the rival, like you don't need to like so I'm like looking around like these people are awful, and then it's just like,
And everyone's really into it.
yeah, and everyone's like blue, like I'm like, what's going on?
So what do you do for the blue coats currently? Teach visual. Okay, so how did you get into that?
So basically like I like marching all of the drum corps, and then doing like dance classes and marching Rhythm X when they had like a visual program, and they still do, but just like doing it, and then continuing to do it after. Like as soon as I aged out at Blue Coats, I reached out to this guy named Michael Sampson, who I had never met, and he was the visual caption head at the Mandarins. And I had like a phone call interview with him, and I was like, hey, I would really like to teach at the Mandarins. And he ended up bringing me on, and I like learned a ton out there, got 5 years of experience doing like the visual thing out there in California. And then the Blue Coats, who I had marched with, they called me.
So what I'm hearing on a whole lot is that you are just really great at shooting your shot.
Yeah, no, that's all it was. Yeah. And like and shooting my shot, but then like there are also like little like connective tissue things, like the caption head at Mandarins. And I specifically wanted to go to the Mandarins because I had never done West Coast Drum Corps. Like all the groups that I had marched were, I guess Denver, Colorado was the furthest one out that I had done. But I was really curious, because, I wanted to see how they did things out there. And most of the staff was like Blue Devils. I guess like pretty Blue Devils heavy. And, we had a mutual friend, Clark Cothran, who I grew up with in South Carolina and all that. And so because we had that mutual connection, and he was like, okay, like, you have like a different experience than a lot of the people here. Like, come on. So, but yeah, no, like there's no harm in like just like asking, you know?
Yeah, I mean I mean you've probably become a master of shooting your shot, because like we've gotten more yeses than nos in just different areas now than what we ever have, and it was just a simple like, hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Like, and we as professionals have to get out of our own way in that sometimes you just have to ask the question, or if you want an experience, you just have to go out there and create that experience for yourself versus waiting for it to come to you. Like for me, I've been giving several of former students who are, or a couple of former students who are now in the profession, my assistant, those types of people. I'm like, hey, you need to go out and start being more active in Team EA or ATSSB or organizations that serve music education, because you just need to be more present.
Totally.
I'm imagining you having this conversation, and it's not that I have to imagine it because I've seen you have it in person, but I'm imagining just like, okay, grandpa.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of what it's been. So I've been teaching for 16 years. And so now I'm starting to train. I'm in that middle ground. I'm in my middle age of band directing, where I'm starting to transition from the young guys on one side of the room to like the older guys inside the room. And I'm just going like this.
And now
But
you're great.
But you're in your 16th year of teaching, and you're still doing things that push your own boundaries, like in terms of like getting out there. Like, I wouldn't have met you guys if we didn't meet at the Rise Clinic. You're in your 16th year of teaching, and you're coming out to learn about visual and health and wellness in the marching arts, and you're like driving a good distance to do it. And it's like, like at least you're practicing what you preach. And I think that is like amazing that you
Well,
guys do that.
so let's talk about the Rise Summit real quick. Okay. So like what drew you to go to the Rise Summit?
So I was really curious on really what Rise was. Samia Vanderkolff, who I teach with at Bluecoats, and she taught me. She's like a really big like inspiration to me, like just like the way that she interacts with humans and carries herself, and her knowledge on not only like the marching art side of things, but like kinesiology and like the health and like medical side of things. And she does so much with like both wind players and color guard and all that stuff. Like, I knew that she was presenting at it, and I wanted to go like like listen and learn, but also like go and support and see what it is that they were putting together. And I thought that was an amazing clinic. Like, I learned a lot.
Well, and the things that they talked about, and for those who are going like, "What is the Rise Summit?" and the Rise group? So it's this group of individuals that are talking about like both physical health and like mental health
Just
within,
overall wellness.
yeah, wellness. But this whole entire thing about like what we do and the limitations as far as like physical health and what you need to do in order to take care of yourself along the way. And they did a presentation at UDB, and Alexa and I took the gamble and went,
Yeah.
not knowing what it was going to be. And actually, I've taken a couple of exercises from that. I've incorporated them into some leadership seminars that I've led, like the
Which
sitting,
exercise? Oh,
the
I was
the
just about to
sitting
say
standing.
the sitting thing.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
done that, and I did it. So I did it at my hometown because my head director's still there, and I did it with the band staff. I lined up the
You
four
made
band
him do
directors.
it?
Yeah, I made him do it. And it was just funny because for him, my head director, he goes at the end of the exercise, because he's like stood up once and then sat back down and didn't sit up ever and stand up ever again. He goes, your instructions was I could. It didn't say that I had to. And
That's true.
and
There's an opportunity if you want to take it. Yeah.
So like the way he approached that exercise was very different, and like how uncomfortable the band kids were whenever we first started doing it, and then how different they became after the first round. It was very, very enlightening.
Yeah.
That's interesting that his perspective was like almost like waiting for you to give more instructions. Like, well, you gave the instructions, whereas like in the entire exercise is like, let's see what happens. You know? Yeah.
So it was I took that, but this whole entire idea of shooting your shot, I got real brave and I did a whole entire dance routine
You
thing, and that is
did.
not my wheelhouse.
It was awesome.
You're so brave. Jose.
Well, and what made me feel much more comfortable was you and one of your colleagues. Who was your colleague?
Was
One of
it
them.
Landy?
Yes, it was Landy. I believe it was.
Do you work with Landy?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
But kind of in Pflugerville ISD. So
Okay.
Landy teaches at Weiss and I teach at Hendrickson.
It was
Gotcha.
Landy.
Yeah.
Landy. Because we had like similar outfits. I said I should have worn my Monastero shirt the next day so we could match.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, but you two came up and said something to me, and it just like solidified that it was okay for me to do that. And that made me feel good. And that made me want to do more stuff like that.
It was so cool to see you like just like volunteer and put yourself out there. Cause like a lot of it, like as I looked around the room, there was like so many faces that I recognized from visual in the marching arts, like color guard people and, the visual manager from the Santa Clara Vanguard was there and like people from Blue Coats. And it's like, and I had not yet met you and you were like, I've never done this. Put me in.
Well, and that tells you like how small, like our band community is small, but that drum corps community is even smaller.
Yeah.
And even more like tight knit. And so like, I tell you what, for me, knowing who was in that room, I had to like put on my big boy pants and just say like, you know what, whatever.
You did such a good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because Silent Command was there too. Like just like
yeah, that's right. And I can guarantee you that everybody had mad respect.
I hope so. Like, look at this idiot.
No, not at all. That was not like if anything, we were like, wow, we don't recognize him from our drum corps, like WGI, like thing. Like, this is amazing.
So it was really cool to sit in that room and like start to figure out who was who and all the things that they were doing. And for us, I think hopefully it was very refreshing for us to share our story and like the things that we deal with coming from a small school program and
Totally.
like the culture and the demographics that we deal with sometimes. So like, sometimes you kind of need that reset to go like, you know what I'm doing isn't too bad.
Totally.
Good point. Yeah.
So it was really great. And I highly recommend if anyone's listening, go out and do the thing, volunteer as much as you can, get involved. The Rise group, follow them on Instagram, hear what they're saying. They talk a lot about a lot of important health things, and hopefully they're going to continue through their mission. So shout out Rise group. So were you the best musician in your class?
I guess so. Like I hate like saying that, but like in my specific class, like yes, I was like the I guess highest achieving, but I think everything is like measured in like different ways. Like from my one tiny little school, like a couple grades below me there was a girl named Sarah McMillan, and she is she's actually a clarinet teacher in the Hutto area, but she has like 2 clarinet performance degrees, like incredible musician. And like there are other people like in our band that like went on to be like professional drum set player and stuff like that. So like I was definitely the most like traditional, like practice oriented, like for my grade and like, region and all state, like that kind of thing. Um, but uh but there were a lot of amazing musicians that like came out of my high school.
Well, and this is a conversation we've had with several people. Um, because from what you're saying is that your band program and when you were growing up was not, I guess, super competitive.
Yeah, and, like, we were, like, South Carolina competitive. Like,
Okay.
if you were in Texas and you watched our, like, state finals run, which we won music for the state of South Carolina, and we were 3rd visually. So, like, we were, like, a, like, good school for that area, but, like, it's so small and the electronics are so, like, outdated, and it was so, like, "Oh, that's cute," like, if you were, like, watching it, like, from here, but that's just like we just put our brains together and we practiced and we tried our best, and so it was like we thought that we were really competitive,
Okay.
like yeah,
So, and you said this earlier, is that like there's a lot of self start and a lot of student responsibility. Um, that is probably a huge contributor to the amount of success that has come out of that program as far as people continuing their music careers,
totally,
because there is like I feel like this razor's edge that you have to be careful with, and like we in Texas kind of dabble, and we live on that edge quite frequently of like pushing too far into quote unquote the competitive mindset versus like the enjoyment of what music is.
I agree.
And so that's really hard to balance because like we're all driven people because that's what we do. And we want our students to be the most successful that they can be. And sometimes that depends on how you define that success.
Totally. And I've noticed that the pacing in Texas is so different because like if it were up to me, I would always go at a steady pace where everybody can just like dig in and learn and take ownership, and like there's so many ways to like scaffold and stuff. Whereas like in Texas, it's like, all right, August 1st is coming. By August 1st, we gotta be forward, backwards, slides, all the things. Like, and you just gotta like, here you go, ready? Like, and yeah, I think that uh the 8-hour rule and all of that definitely puts an extra bit of pressure on the Texas bands to uh throw as much at the kids as you possibly can, so that they feel successful because they're prepared within the time frame that they're given.
Yeah, and that can be tough. Well, and like I'm a glutton for this. When people are like, "Oh, we got to set drill," I do not start setting drill for our show until I have gone through my
Until
checklist.
you're ready.
Yeah, until I hit
Yeah.
my checklist of marching fundamentals that I know my kids are able to execute within like
Not that you've just introduced.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like we use our hours during the summer, but like I make sure I pace it out. I'm like, okay, this day we are going to do this, and this is the time frame we have, and if it goes past August 1st, it goes past August 1st, because I want them to have the skills to be successful at those fundamentals.
That
And it's like, all right, forward march. Tomorrow we're setting drill. Like I have not talked about, slides. I have not talked about backwards marching. I have not talked about, diagonals. I have not talked about trail. I have not talked about a flutter. I'm not, and why am I'm not going to go to drill if I haven't done that.
totally. Yeah, and I'm sure that that works out like amazing for you guys. Like cuz like I think we're actually going to do that more this year. Like we're actually like thinking of like, okay, maybe we'll like set a little bit later just so that we can get to everything with the way that school is starting and band camp lines up and all that. And so I'm really excited to try that and just like get through the basics and fundamentals, and then, like we'll set the drill.
Yeah. And like I think the latest I've started drill was like August 5th.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, let's start on this day. And they're like, and like, I'm on Facebook just as much as the next person, but you say like, oh, we've slammed down 15 sets, already. I'm like, we
Totally.
haven't done one.
Yep. Yep. But at the end, like, nobody's gonna know. Like, at the end of the day, I mean, obviously, like, the first contest, if you're doing, like, BOA Austin, like, that comes up quick and all that, but, like, I think that competitive success is just a result of doing things right, like,
Ooh,
period.
that is good.
Oh, that was good.
That is good stuff.
Competitive. Oh, man.
It's just processes, and if you can get your process down, like, and everybody can do the simple things well and then just apply. It's like reading a piece of music, right? Like, you're not just gonna, like, hand out a grade 5 to your kids on, like, the first day, right? You're gonna, like, teach them the skills, and then same thing, like, visually.
Yep. And that's where a lot of people miss the mark, is that visually it's the same thing as musically, except that you're doing it with something that you've been born with, your arms and your legs. And unless you're born with only one arm, then you're just going to do it with the one arm. But I don't know, that's just me and my soapbox.
Yeah, you're being silly. Nicole's dropping actual knowledge.
You're like, I'm gonna play my flute with one arm. And then-
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you seen that guy play French horn with his feet?
Oh yeah,
I
I've seen that.
actually know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Good for him, but man, feet are weird.
It's very inspiring.
Yes, it is.
Does your band budget feel like it's stuck on repeat? Same old fundraiser, same week results? It's time to change the rhythm. FanPledge with Shawn Murphy brings the beat back with fun, fast, and effective fundraising. No product sales, no deliveries, and if you don't raise at least 10% more than your current donation-based fundraiser, it's free. Call Shawn at 903-948-7348. FanPledge, the choice of champions.
So who would you say that's like helped you out the most? So who would you say has like been your greatest mentor? Or do you have multiple mentors?
Um, Multiple for different stages of, like, life. I would say if I have, like, one overarching, like, mentor that, like, I wouldn't be able to do what I do without this person, it'd have to be Eric Prince, who, he's taught, like, a good amount of band in, like, the Central Texas area, but he was my brass caption head at Spirit of Atlanta, and, like, he completely took a chance on me, like, being a woodwind player, and, he moved me from mellophone to trumpet, and he, like, was like, "Okay, I don't think you're really ready for this, but I admire your work ethic and the way that you approach rehearsal, and we're gonna get you there." And so he gave me a trumpet, and he would, like, work with me on the trumpet, and, like, he was someone that, like, actually did, like, what he said he would do. Like, he, like, worked with me, like, and taught me a lot, and, like, by the end of the season, I felt really comfortable, and, like, it was just, like, one of those teachers that, like, really invested in me as a person, and, I wouldn't have been able to, you know, be as successful, like, that year, or, like, hang with that group if, he didn't see that in me. Um, and yeah, he's just been really, like, important, like, to my life, and, the Kristen Eck and Scott Dupree at the Blue Coats, they were my mellophone techs, and, like, both of them, like, I still call them, like, to this day all the time, like, I have questions or life things or whatever. They were just, like, they were more than teachers to me, like, they really cared about, like, my well-being, and, like, they saw me, so, like, them, and then, like, when I first started teaching in Houston, the second band director at Pasadena Memorial, his name is Mark Walden. He is just, like, the hardest working person that I know. He, like, gives everything for the kids at Pasadena Memorial, and he taught me how to do things, like, correct in Texas, but not by like telling me. He would just do it. So like he showed me how to like set up my setup. I didn't know how to do that, like it's my first year of teaching. So he like, he taped all the chairs and stuff, and he was like so like OCD about it in like a really good way, where it was like he had a system and I got to observe another human being have a system, because I didn't have a system. I was brand new. I was like, what's happening? And so like I learned so much just from watching him at my time in Houston, that I like still I developed so many good habits just from like working with him. And like yeah, I don't know. I learned a lot from like a lot of people, and but those four are like really important to me.
So you were at Pasadena Memorial, yes?
Yeah.
And then after that, where did you go for a year?
I went to Haltom High School in the DFW area. So it's part of Birdville Independent School District.
And then you decided that you wanted to come back to Central Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to Haltom, and it just like, and this is okay, but like it just didn't feel right. Like there's a whole lot more to it. But I knew that it isn't what I wanted, and it just wasn't a good fit, and like it's tough cuz you never want to stay at a school for 1 year. But I had to make the best decision for myself, and yeah, that's what brought me to Central Texas. I knew like living in Houston for so long and stuff that I loved Austin, and I loved visiting Austin. It was like the place that I would go for like vacation and stuff. And so it was always like in the back of my mind, but the opportunity just like presented itself, and um yeah, I ended up only being in Dallas for a year.
Well, and these are things that we all have to recognize. One, um, no one's gonna make you happy other than yourself. Like
Totally.
you have to make yourself happy. Two, if something just doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel right. That's just it. You know, three, whatever your reasons, and we've talked to like some fantastic people on the pod, and no one has ever just had one job. Like if you leave a job because of staff dynamics, if you're just not the right fit within the staff, you're just not the right fit for the staff. That is okay, as long as you don't burn down the house on your way out.
Totally.
If your administration isn't supportive, oh, that's okay if you want to leave, if that's the case. If the community is not supportive of the program and you decide to leave, that is okay. How you exit your position is what is really, really, really important. And like I've seen, and this is so hard, I've seen band directors and I've just seen teachers, I've seen people just in general pull up on their job before their end of their contract, or before they're done dealing with students.
Mm-hmm.
And that is probably the worst thing you can do. And I know that's hard because you're like, oh, I'm going to get out of here anyways. Like, why do I need to invest?
Finish it. Yep.
Like, these are people.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Totally.
why are you doing music?
Yes. Yes.
Some people do music for the things it does for them and not for the impact that they make on others.
That. Yep.
And
like it's not about you.
Mm-mm.
Like it's not about you.
If you're gonna do this, it is definitely not about you.
Totally.
There's other forms of musicianship that you can achieve that in, but this is not the one.
No.
That's like when people say, I don't know if it was Mike Lenny or like Chris McClellan that talked about this, but programming pieces of music because you played them in high school or college and like you just really love those pieces. Almost 0% of the time are they the appropriate pieces for your ensemble.
Totally. No,
Makes it about you.
Yep.
That.
I don't know. It's just that kind of stuff is frustrating. And those are honestly the people that I see getting out of the profession more so than anyone else.
Well, yeah. It's because this is a very like public facing and just like personal skill driven profession. And if you don't have that, or if that's not your focus or your intent, like overall, then it's not really going to work out.
And like, let's be real, like band directing is like, it is like working in the trenches, you know,
Yeah.
and you know what you're signing up for. And like, I don't know, like, I think joy motivates, like, I think joy doesn't motivate why I do this as much as like purpose. And, uh, because it gets, like, hard. Yeah, you guys know, like, everybody that does this profession knows whether you're at, like, the top of the top, like, 1st place BOA scoring, very, like, supportive community, or you are in, like, you know, a really tough other community, rural, whatever, like, everybody that does this job sacrifices a lot to do what they do. And you know, like I constantly have to like check in with like what is my purpose here and like what is the work to be done, because like yeah, if not, like
Yeah.
it's tough.
And I listen to a lot of other band podcasts. But one of the things that I heard from someone is that comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
Who said that to me recently? Was it Mike Howard? It might have been Mike Howard.
Maybe.
But like comparisons is the thief of joy, and it's just like so many of us like look at other band directors in these high profile like positions and go like, oh, they have it easy, or oh, they have all these resources, or oh, this. But like I look at your position and I look at, you know, your head director's position, and I go like, the things that you guys have to deal with that I don't is completely different.
Exactly.
So like for you guys, you're on the outside of Austin, and it is very easy for a kid to go like, I'm not going to be in band because I can go do this in Austin at any point. That is not something I have to deal with.
That's true.
You know,
Totally.
and like the situations I deal with in my job are not the same types of situations you deal with in your job. Like for me, like if I have my first trumpet player, like, oh, for prime example, like I had a flute player who had an injury and she's out. That's it. I don't have anyone to step into her position. For you guys, it might be like next man up. and that's just a different situation. So your struggles are very different from my struggles, and it is unfair for me to compare myself to what you guys have to go through, and it's unfair for you guys to compare what I go through.
Totally. And that, like, even for like the kids, like that next step up thing, like we have so many kids that are like in our program, like there's like, you know, alternates, secondaries, like we call them like secondaries at Hendrickson. That's just like what they were called when I got here, you know. And like they have to go through a lot just to like get to the starting line of being able to march with everybody else, you know? And so it's like even the kids like in a program like, but that's different from like what, you know, your kids probably have to deal with as well. It's like we only, you know, it's like small amount of marching spots, large amount of kids.
Yeah. And for us, it's the opposite. It's like a decent amount of marching spots, not enough kids, not enough kids.
Yeah.
Which, you know, has its own set of problems. But it's just, we hear that so much. And it's just like if we could just get away from that and concentrate on our programs the way we need to concentrate on it, we'd be better off. People would be a lot happier in their positions, and then it would just be a better situation.
Totally.
So tell us about about the experiences you think that are special to your students.
Honestly, like I think that them like they do a lot of like section bonding things, which is one thing that I like love about Hendrickson. Like the sections get together and like they'll, you know, get together at the neighborhood pool, or like um like right now, like our saxophone section at Hendrickson is getting together with Weiss's saxophone section. And like, I think that the, I guess cohesion between the schools in Pflugerville ISD is really like special. And, our kids are so outgoing. They want to know all of the other kids, like at the other programs, like around our district and stuff. Um, and I think that, just how they approach everything and make it fun is, uh, I guess my favorite part of being around them. You know, like, we have 7 a.m. rehearsals during marching season, and basically all of the kids are there by like 6:30, 6:45, and they're blasting music. They're like having little dance parties in their section. They're like practicing with each other and stuff like that. And I think that that camaraderie, not only like within Hendrickson, but within all of Pflugerville ISD, is something that like makes it like special and makes the kids want to do this and like buy into it.
So how long have you been at Hendrickson?
I just finished my second year.
Finish your second year. So are there is there anything special about Hendrickson to you that makes you want to maybe look at furthering your career there?
Yeah, like everything. Like I yeah, I really think that um so much of like how Hendrickson exist is really amazing. Like our community is super helpful, and like they're like servants, like servant hearts, like servant like leadership type of people, and they like instill those values in their kids. And you know, like I can reach out to you know, parents to help with like creative ideas like props and stuff like that. And um our administration is absolutely amazing. We have the best principal. Like our principal goes to literally everything. We had a color guard contest on a Sunday my first year teaching, and it was like a Saturday WGI, and they made finals for WGI on Sunday. It was all the way down in Glen High School, which is like down in Leander, and the principal showed up on Sunday. You know, the principal came to Music for All National Festival. He goes to BOA Grand Nationals. Like he is there at literally everything. Um so just like a lot of support. We have like a block scheduling where we get to rehearse an hour and a half every day, which is so helpful because like, you know, what you don't get to in rehearsals and stuff, it's like and that brings up another point, is like not all band programs get that. And so the fact that, you know, like I've worked at bands where you get 45 minutes a day, or you know, you get every other day and stuff. And so like just like the way that things are set up at Hendrickson um allows the students to find maximum success. And so, like, I've always felt, like, really supported there. And, everyone on our team has their own special thing that they bring, and we fill each other's, like, weaknesses really well. You know, I'm, like, terrible at anything technology, but, like, Nathan Zamora can, like, make a incredible band trailer video in, like, 20 minutes, and it's, like, the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Or, like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody has their own thing, um to bring to the table. And yeah, it's like just I don't know, it's a really special place.
So, and you have a new head director going into next year,
Yeah.
and that is Mr. Dean Surface, correct?
Yeah.
Baylor grad.
Huh.
I don't know Dean, but I've heard wonderful things. And like you're already telling me, because Hendrickson High School hosts the small school state solo ensemble, and like that servanthood is very present in that school. We could tell because you had parents selling patches and parents located all. It was really really great. Um, Really well run contests from, you know, the standpoint of facilities. So thank you so much for that.
Thank
But
you.
like you and I started talking, I saw you, I was like, oh hey, you know, we just set it off again, and it was great seeing you from Rise. And then you're like, oh, have you ever heard of this thing called Gamma?
Oh yeah.
See, I put that in my
You
notes.
remembered.
Put that in my notes, and I was like, no, and you were like, oh, let me show you this, and you had this whole entire print up of like all your marching band stuff, and it was like it was
Yeah.
so cute too. The background was like like outer spacey. It was purple,
Ooh.
and like out they had like nebulas, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I know exactly that.
So still trapped this one.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that like I am not technologically like that wasn't my idea. Like he came in and he just gave me the platform. Like he gave me the thing. He was like, "Okay, hey, I have this like form, like fill it out." And so then I could take what was floating around in my brain and like bam, he like immediately came in and helped me be more effective by bringing this thing that I didn't know existed.
Wow.
So
I was going to tell you that an elephant never forgets.
Yeah. I mean, what Nicole, what you need to do is you need to write down all your stuff that you have learned from all your journey through DCI and teaching, and put it into a like a band director's guide to the galaxy.
Ooh.
Like a hitchhiker's
And
guide to
then
the galaxy.
sell it and
I guess
become
I'll
rich
call
and
it that.
famous. That's a good idea.
I'll
I
become
yeah,
rich and famous for all the like 200 band directors.
Hey, girl, you'd be surprised how many people
Exactly.
like want information like that. Like we do business with Zach Santos, and I'm going to plug the band Blueprint and Band 5.
That's right.
So we do business with him, and we're partnered with him with the band Blueprint and things like that. But like that's an awesome resource, and he does it on the visual aspect. But it'd be nice to also have like a side of things that's geared towards like warm-ups. I know there's like Inside the Circle, the Matt Harloff thing, but have you ever seen that thing? That is intimidating information.
Is it all just like a book?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a whole entire packet,
Oh, okay.
and it's called Inside the Circle, and it's because you're inside the circle.
Right.
But it's like intimidating.
got it.
It's a lot of information, but like something like that, maybe in a way that is digestible by Joe Schmo, band director.
By Jose Sanchez.
Yeah, if I can digest it. When I tell our student leadership this, whenever, because we're not in a location that we can hire techs or do any of this kind of stuff. So we do a training program for our student leadership. We have an instructional leadership team, and I tell them this. I go, you have to teach them like they are the dumbest people on the planet. And if you can teach the dumbest people on the planet to be successful, then we are going to be very successful. So
Few
like
words, just
yes,
example. Yep.
So it's one of those kind of mindset. I'm like, we have to teach everyone because we have to teach everyone.
Totally.
And everyone deserves that experience
Yes.
to be taught.
Yes.
Well, like we've had kids that have been in the quote unquote alternate block, and like they're just not ready. You have the kid who's 4'11", but he's wearing a size 15 shoe. And he's just not ready. And then over the summer, you don't see him for 6 weeks, and next thing you know, he's 6'2".
Totally.
And it's like, oh, now you know how to march in time. It's because your feet,
Your body is proportional.
Totally. Oh, especially freshman boys.
Oh, they're
yeah.
the worst.
I taught my first year in Houston was COVID, and I taught this like tiniest boy I had ever taught. Like I was like he had to have been like 4'9" when he came into high school, and he went away because like COVID, we were all like gone at our houses and stuff, and when he came back he was literally 6 feet tall. And he like when he left, he was like, "Hi, Miss Davis," and like he came back and he was like, "Hey, Miss Davis." I was like, "Oh my gosh, goodness!"
Oh,
It's
You're
funny
right,
when
though, but they have to grow into their bodies.
yeah.
it is much
Yeah.
harder for boys. in
It's
that
funny
way.
when they make like the
The
jump. Yeah.
Totally.
It's
That's
like,
cute.
oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, there's one kid I can remember. He was like seriously 5 foot nothing, wearing a size 15 shoe, and then he was gone for the summer and he came back and I was like, Colton? Hey, Mrs. Sanchez. Oh, jeez. Boy.
Yep.
Let me get you tested. Oof. Oof. So what do you do in order to establish the culture you want inside the band hall? Okay, hold up. Wait. I asked this question beforehand. Do you refer to it as a band hall or a band room?
Okay, so like now band hall, because like I drank the Kool-Aid, but like when I first got here, definitely band room. Like I was like band hall, why do they keep calling it? And I'm like the band room, and like they're like, no, it's the band hall. I'm like, okay, yes.
We need to do a poll, like band hall, band room.
I think like all of Texas is like band hall, and like I think everywhere else seems to be band room.
This is like a big like subtweet to Ryan Ashley right now.
Yes. Do you know who Ryan Ashley is?
Mm-mm.
He's the your favorite band teacher. He's the one that makes a whole bunch of the memes and a whole bunch of the videos.
I don't think I've seen that.
I'll have to send it to you.
Yeah, he's a robust guy, and sometimes he'll wear like a tiny sousaphone.
Cool.
So he's a funny guy.
We'll send it to you. It's funny. He makes funny stuff.
Yeah, he's not a Texas native either.
He's from Arkansas.
And so there was a whole entire thing where it was band room versus band hall.
What was his argument?
The same exactly what you just said.
Oh, okay,
he added us real bad in one of his
the sleigh ride one.
Yeah. Because what are your thoughts and feelings on sleigh ride?
Overplayed.
Okay. See,
that's
this is why we're
opinion
friends
too. Yeah,
that's why we're friends. Because he was in the impression and in the cult of you should play sleigh ride every single Christmas concert.
No, that's not what he said. He just said that he enjoys it.
Yeah, well, he goes must program.
Yeah,
must program
because he enjoys it.
Yeah.
There's two songs that never go away, and it's Sleigh Ride and it's the Polar Express. I swear.
The Polar Express did have a.
I can't get behind programming the Polar Express. I've looked into it because I'm like, would the kids like this? And then one day I was like listening to it, and they're like, "Oh, turn that off. We don't want to play that." It's like, okay,
bring
you
back
don't have to tell me
Frosty
twice.
the Snowman.
Yeah, Frosty's fine.
We play it like the Polar Express, but it's got like a whole like video that goes with it.
That's cool.
You got a production.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, we
every
don't have
year.
That's cool though.
I just sleigh ride. But yeah, he like added us on one of his posts on Instagram. He was like, "Do you program sleigh ride?" We're just like, "Excuse me, sir, get out of here."
You really offended him.
It just well, it didn't help that the first video in that cut is of Chris Pratt as Star-Lord doing like the middle finger thing from Guardians, when baritone players playing, E naturals, asking baritone players what an E natural finger is, and he does that. But the caption is like, would you play sleigh ride? I'm like, this is a double whammy here.
It's because it's a compilation.
Yeah, I know.
There's several things.
But that was the first one. That one stung me. That one hit.
Why are you so offended?
It hurt me, Shrek. Cut me real deep.
You're such a Shrek fan.
I am a fan. Do you have a favorite Pixar movie?
Okay, like I would normally say Finding Nemo. Isn't that Pixar? Yeah.
Yes, that's a good one.
But it got like really overplayed. So yes, probably still Finding Nemo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm okay with.
Is Ratatouille a Pixar movie?
I think it's Disney. No.
Is it Disney?
No, I think it's Pixar.
Oh,
I have to look it up.
Yeah, I think it is Pixar.
It's Pixar.
Why is that so confusing?
Well, because Disney
what other
started
movies
doing
are Pixar?
Like Toy Story, Onward.
Yeah, Ratatouille's Pixar.
Ratatouille.
I really like Ratatouille.
Ratatouille's
but I also like Onward.
Yeah. Wait,
I
what's
feel like
Ice
Onward.
Age?
That's DreamWorks, right?
Oh,
no, that it's not.
It's
even
not
DreamWorks.
Pixar.
Is it Illumination?
No, Illumination is post.
It's Big Sky. Now it just sounds like we're talking about like subgenres.
You could be naming grade 1 pieces on the P&L, and I believe you. It is in fact Big Sky. Wow, I am impressed.
It's honestly, it sounded like we could have been
technically 20th century. But
it sounded like I was talking about like the smaller football conferences.
No, that Big Sky is a football
Yeah,
conference.
is it?
Yeah.
We're talking about all sorts of things.
Sacramento State is leaving the
The
conference.
Pac-12.
That's not funny, Jose. This is not a joke.
Rip.
It is the Big Sky Conference, and Sacramento State is leaving the Big Sky Conference.
Man.
Don't ask me why.
State.
Are they joining the Pac-12? Oh no, they're not. They're joining the Big West.
Oh my goodness. See what I mean? It just sounds like a whole bunch of like mid, football conferences.
These could still be retirement homes in Arizona,
Yep.
as Chris McClellan would say.
So back to the question at hand. What do you do to establish culture in your band room?
Yeah.
Band place.
Definitely like encouraging just like ownership of what all the kids do, and like we're really big on participation. So like as far as like culture, like I think it just depends on like the band director team, and that like shifts. Like say for example, like our culture this upcoming year is gonna shift from like what it's been in the past, but I think one thing that consistently, no matter what shifts happen in personalities and stuff like that, is like participating with your voice first, like making sure that like every kid feels a sense of self-importance to help the people around them, both by like counting and like not even it being like a super loud like obnoxious type of thing, but just in a really like focused way. Self accountability when it comes to like measuring their or numbering their measures like in their music, and showing up with all of that kind of stuff, like showing up with like what they need, and like being good participants. And we don't always like we do expect that they practice and are like actively getting better and stuff, but like if you show up like trying hard and putting in effort, then we can work with that. I think that you can tell really on the first rep how they come to play. And so if it's not like to their fullest capabilities, like no, stop, like go back, like I'm not mad at you, but we have to start over differently, and just holding a standard, like and making that standard clearly defined, so like written out type of thing.
Well, and that's something that we tell our kids too, is like, I want you to be present.
Yeah.
Like if I'm here being present for you, please be present for your neighbors. Like step one,
Totally.
be present. I mean, it's just how many times have there have been days where I have not been present as a band director, and I know that. But I like for me in this year, and you've probably have felt that in different parts of the year, and probably in the different locations that you've taught in the the three schools that you've taught. But like the vibe going from year to year can be drastically different.
Totally.
Like this year, and this is something I've been very, very vocal about, and I've been very transparent with our kids, is that like, or just people in general, this past year beat me up. I don't know why. I don't know, it was different, but it's shifting into the like, great, we made state marching contests, to like the expectation of us making state marching contests. And this is that third year. And it did a number on me. And I felt like it did a number on our senior class specifically.
Totally.
But we've done some leadership training and things like that going in our first quarter of the summer. And the vibe already feels different. Like I turned around to Alexa the other day and I said, I don't feel bad like I did last year. I don't feel like nervous. I don't feel anxious. And I don't know if it's because of the students and the way they're approaching things, or the way I'm approaching things, or like our show concept and mentality. Maybe that's part of it.
Maybe, I don't
I
know.
don't know. It's just one of those kind of things that every now and then you just like there's a part of the year or just something that just feels different. And this past year was like weird for me in that way, and I had a hard time with that. What's Hendrickson's show going into next year?
It's called Emergence. Yeah.
Emergence.
Uh-huh.
Ooh,
That's fun.
Yeah. So it's like the theme of change. Instead of it being like, cuz like it's based on like the life cycle of a butterfly, like that type of thing. But and I don't want to like tell everything about it, but we're going to try and approach it like a little bit differently. And so like we're gonna try and go a different like route with it than a traditional butterflies everywhere and like that type of
yeah.
thing. So we've had like a lot of like staff meetings on like the production plot and all of that, and everybody's brought like a ton of really cool ideas. And kind of it's going more towards um becoming who you can be, but like shedding everything to get there.
I love
And,
that. I
we're
love that.
gonna be, like, experimenting with, like, the concept of what it can look like to shed, like, on the field.
Wow.
Yeah. So
There's
That's
some
exciting.
yeah, that's some deep stuff because like this past year our show was called Here We Grow.
yeah, with the flowers and
Yeah,
stuff.
and it was great, but like there was just like a lot of heaviness into it. But this year our show is called The Home We've Built.
Mm,
And so it's
yeah.
just like a little bit of I don't know. I don't know if it's just because it feels lighter just in the
Mm.
title of it.
Yeah. It's relatable for them too. Like, from what you've told me about your program and, like, it being, like, where it is, like, geographically, and, you told me about, like, like, the jail is right there and, like, all that stuff, and it's like, I know that your kids see your band hall as a second home, and so they're probably, like, I think that's a great show for them to connect to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's something that I don't know, it just feels different. So Nicole, let me talk to you and ask you this question. If someone like a band director or someone wanted to volunteer or get involved in drum corps in some type of way, what would be your advice to a young director or a band director in general on how to get involved with Drum Corps International?
Yeah, there's like so many ways like nowadays on like if you've marched drum corps, then like it is going to be easier for you to get involved with like the teaching and instructional side of it. However, there are also a lot of new opportunities for people that have never performed in drum corps to also get experiences in the design realm, in the teaching realm, all of that stuff through like drum corps are making like a lot of like intern programs. So like even like the group that I work with, the Bluecoats, they're doing a Bluecoats fellowship. And I think we're in year, I don't know how many, maybe 3 or 4 years of this developing now. But I know like there was a girl, Natalie Brady, like a couple years ago that came through, or 2023 she came, and she had never done drum corps, and she was like she knew how to like dance and had some experience in that realm, but she did the fellowship at Bluecoats and learned from Jim Moore, the choreographer, and now she's teaching drum corps. And she's doing like a lot of like choreography and stuff in drum corps. And so like I would recommend getting a good fit with some type of internship, or like getting experience teaching on like the high school level if teaching is your calling within drum corps. That being said, like there are so many other things that drum corps um like need and want to welcome people in to like get the experience like from the administrative side. There was a band director in the Deer Park area of Houston, who came in and did some administrative stuff with Bluecoats last year, and he had never marched drum corps, but got to learn all about how it was run, and really helped us out in terms of like transportation and like handling all sorts of like problems that arose and stuff. So I think that drum corps are starting to get a lot more inclusive to people that have not yet marched drum corps to come and join in like the community. and learn from the people that are there because like I think it's so easy to like do things like your way at your high school band, and then there's like another high school band and they do things that like is their way, but it's always really inspiring to come to a like independent organization that has like some of the best at what they do, like working there, that you can learn from even if you haven't marched drum corps. So like uh if someone's like listening to this, like reach out to me. I can like help you, or just like figure out, I guess, like what drum corps interests you the most, and go from there. Like watch some drum corps shows and um see like what it is you like about whichever one interests you, and like reach out to them. Yeah, I guess that would be my first line of figure out what you want to do in drum corps, and then there's usually some accessible way to get there.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people are also afraid of like making that kind of contact, because I think traditionally drum corps has been its own, like, I hate to say sect.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
it's hard to put yourself out there when you're like, I don't have any experience with this thing, but I want to learn.
Yeah.
And that's very valuable.
Totally.
And
Yeah.
so, I mean, just ask. And that's been like a running thing. It's just all you got to do is ask.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's the worst thing somebody can say?
No.
And
No.
we love when people that haven't done this like are curious about it. Like there are so like and even if, say for example, you start on admin 1 year, you might be admin 1 year and then you might do production crew the next year and help with the set. And then the next year after production crew, you might be on the visual staff, or like there is so much like or like you intern with one organization and then you go teach another organization, and like especially in the open class, or like world class drum corps that are slightly less established or have a little bit less of a community support base or an alumni base. Those drum corps need great educators, and so like like both of you like you could go and teach a drum corps because you are professional music educators, but you just gotta like do it if that's something that interests you.
For sure.
I think that's just always that's something I've wanted to ask for a long time. I've just never know who like to actually ask.
Well, you found the perfect person.
Yeah, I know. She's so talented. I mean, I mean, like Nicole, like it boggles my mind. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. You started out as a flute, went to bassoon.
Wait, what did you do with Rhythm X?
Yeah, and then
You
like
danced.
that.
You dance with Rhythm X?
Yeah.
Rhythm X.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, so, well, okay, flute to bassoon, which is madness.
Flute, bassoon, mellophone,
Mellophone,
trumpet, dance, mellophone.
Okay, taught in Houston,
Mm-hmm.
up to Dallas.
She's hit the
down,
big,
the triangle.
the triangle.
Yeah.
So, and you did 5 different corps plus Rhythm X. So when do you sleep?
I used to like not sleep like that. I think that's like how I like did all that, was like I was student teaching in Tennessee, and I did Rhythm X for 3 years. I did 2 as like a performer and then 1 as a teacher at Rhythm X, and like it was like go to school and student teach and also work a job at Buffalo Wild Wings being a waitress, and then every weekend it'd be Friday, I'd drive 6 hours to Rhythm X and be there until Sunday at 4, and then drive back to the Tennessee area another 6 hours. So it was like 12 hours, like, and that was like every weekend from November until like late April. So like I didn't sleep. That is the answer. And I think that wasn't healthy, but I had so much energy that I didn't really notice. But now that I'm like getting older, I'm like, ooh, I can't do that.
You're
like,
like, this nap This
I'm like,
nap sounds real good.
yeah, yeah, totally. But I do think that that type of like intense energy for like that period of time, like helped me learn a lot. That like now at this point in my career, I can like think back to everything and not go as hard.
Yeah.
So, do you have a mistake that you've made that's made you a better educator?
Yeah, I think like just like a lot of mistakes like all over time. I like even like this past year, like I had never used risers before I got to Dallas. And when I was in Dallas, we hosted UIL at Haltom. So I didn't know that there were different sizes of risers. And so, like, that's just nothing that I ever knew. And so, like, even like this year, like, we are at UIL and I only put like risers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I put small risers and then I put big risers. And like literally, like, that's all I put. I was like, small ones, big ones. And they showed up, it was like a different size riser, and oh my gosh. And so like simple little things like that that am still learning all the time, that I'm like, oh, okay, I haven't encountered this. Okay, now I know that there's a specific inches thing for this and this other thing. And um oftentimes it's just like a learning experience. You know, like little small thing happens, small hiccup, and you know, you learn from it and then you're like, okay, like not going to do that again. So,
Yeah. That is
Yeah, the riser thing, man. I tell you
that
what, people absolutely love or they absolutely hate risers. Go ahead, say what you're going to say, Alexa.
I think they can be very beneficial.
Yes.
It's a pain.
Yes.
yeah.
That's all I was going to say.
I mean, you should be used to it. You're
I've
a
used them.
percussionist.
Yeah.
You know what it's like to move things.
I do.
Totally.
But moving risers. Have you If
Oh,
you've ever hosted UIL and like had to change the stage between bands and it's like no risers, no risers, it's an ordeal. It is a
Totally.
huge ordeal.
Yep.
So
you start to rage a little bit in the
yeah.
corner. All the
And
people,
then like the legs don't fit and you're like, yeah.
Literally. Yeah.
all the people who have like hosted UIL listening to this are like,
Yep.
yes.
That's why I think it was John Driver. I think I texted him and was like, hey, so on the packet, it doesn't say anything about risers, but like, do you have any? And he was like,
You could hear him breathe hard over text.
yeah. He gave me some answer that was basically like,
Yes.
if you must. Yeah.
But is there something that you wish you knew before you became a director?
Yeah. I wish that, because I already knew like what all went into being a band director. I knew that it would be like a lot of time, and I knew that it'd be like a lot of energy and effort and like planning and everything like that. But I was never really clear on like what the expectations of my position entailed, you know? And so like when I like first got to Houston, it was like, okay, here's the microphone, you're teaching band camp. Like uh, get out there, let's go. And so I like first day I got the microphone, 350 kids out there in the parking lot, and I'm like, okay, let's go. And like uh it was a whole lot of like jump into the fire, and in a way I really enjoyed that, you know. But like I've done like a lot of other things, like being like a guard director, you know, that was like, whoa, I didn't know I was gonna do that, but like here we go, you know. And so like uh I think that it's important to like get an idea and not be afraid to ask like, what am I going to be doing? Like, what is my role within the team? And also, like, establishing boundaries with that. Because, like, I know in my first year teaching, you know, it's my first year in Texas. I, like, taught, like, the band camp and the, like, fundamentals and all that kind of stuff, which was awesome. But then I'm teaching 2 concert bands. There's, like, 4 bands total, head band directors group, second band directors group, and then I took, like, the bottom 2 groups as, like, my first year. And, I was doing the color guard and I was doing the indoor percussion and all the things like that and stuff. And so, like, and all of that is good and like shaped me as a person, but like, I wish that I had asked, like, what am I going to be doing? And like, like, uh like compensation for time for like some extents, like in some ways, right? Because like most people have a guard director position where that is a person that goes to the contest and stuff. But for my first 3 years of teaching, I went to every single guard contest, rode the bus, did all the percussion things, did you know what I mean? And so and that's not any type of like complaining about it because I grew from that, but I had no idea that I was going to do that, and it's made me better now. And they got the duties as assigned on that contract.
Yeah,
Like,
Oh
they sure do.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
sure do.
but like I wish that from the very beginning that I like knew what was going to happen, or like establish some type of boundary um within it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the only real like the two positions that are the most clearly defined period are a percussion director and a color guard director. Those are the best defined positions.
Standalone on their
Yeah.
own. Yeah.
Versus an assistant director who like duties can change on
Question
a yeah.
mark.
Yeah, that can change on a whim.
Well, like if you say you're an assistant director, that doesn't tell anyone like what band you teach or, anything like that. Like you can say you're an assistant director and you teach like the second band and do the marching band, or you can say you're an assistant director and do like the third and fourth band, whatever. Like that just doesn't give a lot of information.
Mhm.
You can do whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any advice you'd give to any other young band directors?
Yeah. I would urge like younger band directors to uh like come with if they're going into their first year of teaching or something, or second year of teaching, like come with philosophies and ways of doing concepts themselves. I know like when I first started, I was so like minutia down to like the minute on like every single little thing because I like wanted to be prepared and stuff like that. But I realized that as I continued to teach, it's like, I just developed my own philosophy on how to do this, how to do this. And then you can just like plug it in and be more aware of the room and less like on did I hit this thing in my lesson plan, and not being afraid to be who you truly are in front of your students, within reason. But like, I don't know, like there are some people that are like really bubbly and energetic and stuff like that, and that's their personality. And like I would urge them to be that in front of the students. Like you don't have to be this like rigid person, or if you do have a more like rigid personality or embrace that and like let who you are come out and get more comfortable like being in the spotlight and like being aware of everything that's moving throughout the room. So yeah, I would say that.
And I think that's important for, band directors. It doesn't actually matter the age to hear that, because there are some directors who might be in their 12th year of teaching who might be on their 8th job, and they just haven't figured some things out for themselves yet. And I think that's very good to hear, because Nicole, you're not a very old band director. You're very young in your career, and you're killing it, girl. Like, you're doing a lot of great things, and like your introspective like situation is so far ahead of where I was in my like 5th year of teaching or 4th year of teaching, that it's like it's great to see the trajectory of where your career is going to be going. So like that's, knock on wood, But I mean you're really involved in DCI. You've been a part of a stellar programs as far as the course scene. You worked your way through Houston schools, went up to Dallas, and now you're in a program that you feel like is very, very home based to you. That's what everything that you've told me is. That's what that seems like. So when you're not doing all these things, what do you do just to unwind?
Honestly, like it is a fight to unwind. Like I'm sure that you guys like feel the same thing, but like I think it is so important to like literally fight for your life to be healthy. Like seriously. Like I fight for my life to like get enough sleep at night and stuff. But like some like things that really like help me unwind and like just enjoy like life and stuff. I love long distance running. It's like one of my favorite things, like which is so crazy because I would have never said that when I was like younger and stuff, but it's like become this thing where I can just like relax and let my body take over. And it's like especially like relaxing when you're running and like there's the sunset and all of that. And I love doing that. Playing frisbee with my two dogs. They're like red healers. Yeah.
Oh, red healers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. One red healer and one blue healer.
okay.
But
So you got the bluey thing
Bingo
going on.
and blue.
yeah, totally. So yeah, like spending time with them, going to like explore places with Kyle, like around Austin.
And who is Kyle?
And Kyle's my boyfriend.
Your boyfriend, Kyle?
Yeah. Yeah. So just doing stuff like that. And like I do like a good amount of like yoga and stuff. I over like COVID I got my certification so I can like teach that
Ooh.
too. So like yeah, I just like to do a lot of things around the Austin area and hang out with my friends, and it's a really good community out here. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So Alexa and I just did our we in my younger years of teaching decided it was a good idea to get married in July.
You didn't have summer band back then.
Yeah, we didn't do it's because we didn't start school so early.
Yeah, we started it much later.
So we got married on July 18th. And so now that has been completely blown out of the water. And so we celebrated our 10-year anniversary the past 3 days.
Mhm.
And we went to this place called the Missing Hotel, and it's in Marble Falls. And
We never even got to Marble Falls though.
No.
We like because it's outside of Liberty Hill, so we just went through Liberty Hill every
Yeah.
time we went there.
It's right next to the Balcones Canyonlands.
Mhm.
Yes.
So basically, the whole entire concept is that they have like the domes, like those. They have several of those on their property, and then they have these.
They just call them shelters.
Yeah.
That's not fair to what they are.
Yeah, but they're glamping. They're mini houses. That's what they are.
Yeah,
They're tiny
it was
homes.
very nice.
But like there's minimal cell phone service out there, and like they tell you like do not stream on on their Wi-Fi and all this kind of stuff because it's very limited and all this kind of other stuff, and they want you to completely unplug. And it is a beautiful, like we stayed in this one called the Zephyr. And it's a tree house thing. It's on this ridge, but it was just like
It was cool.
It was fantastic in this unplugging idea. But the windows are from floor to ceiling, and so when you wake up in the morning, you wake up to like sunrise.
We also though had this bird that kept trying to get inside. It kept like running into the window.
Oh no.
I know.
It wasn't even running. It was like
It was interested.
Yeah, it was.
And then Jose let a cat into the shelter.
There was a tuxedo cat. That's
So
the ranch
They
cat.
call it the ranch cat, but she like Jose opened the door and she came in.
He was like, meow,
Like it like into your room
yeah,
area?
Yes.
and it's our area.
She took a tour.
Yeah, I gave her some beef jerky.
Love that. I love like Airbnb type like little places with
Mhm.
farm animals.
Yeah.
They have
They had
apparently mini cows.
were they
Mini
donkeys?
cows.
No, they're mini cows. It's the cows that have like the long fur. They look like they're emo band
Yeah.
cows.
Oh yeah. I know. what
We
you're talking
didn't
about.
go see them though. I didn't. There was a trail to get to them. I don't know where it was.
Yeah, but we
The property was kind of big,
yeah. But if you're ever interested in a place like that just to get away,
like
that's
a staycation.
Yeah.
that's
I've actually I just discovered what Balcones Canyonlands was like 2 days ago. I
Yeah,
was like,
it's
what can I
very
do
pretty
this
out there.
summer? Like, nice.
It was funny because they have like in one part of it, because it's kind of big, but in one part of the Balcones Canyonlands, they have an observation deck, and the big thing there, because it's a wildlife reserve, is the birds. They have lots of protected bird species that are there. But we went to this observation deck thinking it was like kind of over. It's called the Canyonlands, thinking it's over like a ridge
canyon.
and like you can, a canyon,
Yeah.
like you can see, and like there's like a gazebo, and so like we walk up to it, and it's literally just like brush. Like you can't see past like 5 feet in front of you because it's just like grown up brush, and there were no birds that we could observe. So
That sounds very sad.
Yeah, it was.
there was a trail that went off of it, and Jose was like, "Do you want to do the trail?" And I was like, I was already sunburnt, and I was like, I can't handle this. I can't.
So, but you should look into a staycation like that. It's good.
Yeah.
So, how did you and Kyle meet?
So we actually went to college together.
Oh,
And but Kyle and I were friends because we were like in classes together and stuff like that. So I was like single for like a long time, and but then when Kyle came through on tour, it had been 3 years I think since we had seen each other. And then we started talking, and then we started dating. So yeah.
Kyle was on tour, and what group is he with?
He is with Postmodern Jukebox.
It's because you're
I
like
know,
so
I
fangirling
I
right
am.
now.
I'm not gonna lie. I am. I like stuff like that.
I know you do.
I don't know what it is. It's like folk music.
I think it's
old style
don't get me
music
wrong,
like that. Like that is cool.
I enjoy it too. I enjoy it as much as you do. It's just fun for me to see you fangirl about it.
Yeah, because I don't get excited about a whole lot of things. I'm mid about a whole lot of things. So whenever like I do get excited
I
about
know.
something, you're like, you give me a hard time. Thanks.
I like seeing you excited. I'm glad that you have something that you're passionate about.
So what does he play?
He plays the saxophone, but also flute and clarinet.
So multi-talented.
Epic woodwind doubler.
Yep.
Yeah.
So man, that's cool. That's a cool
Yeah.
thing. So I know you had mentioned when we had talked at some point in time, you're like, oh yeah, my boyfriend's touring. I was like, oh, that's cool. What is it? And sorry, I was very rude not to ask what he does.
You were.
I'm such a jerk.
You were.
And so, but that's really cool. And like, I mean, for him to do that, and I mean, that's just pretty neat. I mean, how we don't hear a lot about like touring musicians nowadays.
Yeah. Oh, and it's like completely like his music upbringing is so different from like anything that I've done, anything that like, like you guys have probably done. Like it's like he did like a lot of jazz in high school. And it went from like jazz in high school to like jazz major in college to like just like gigging in Nashville while he was working in a bank. But he like, obviously was like super talented like when he was in college, and he was like playing with a group in Nashville, and Scott Bradley from Postmodern Jukebox came out that night. I can't remember. I think it was Skull's Rainbow Room, someplace in Nashville, and he saw Kyle play and then was like, "Hey, we're going on tour. Do you want to like hop on?" And so like since that moment in 2019, like that's been his full-time job. Is like, he'll be on a tour of Europe for 2 months, and then he'll come home and he'll be home for like 2 months, and then he'll go on a 1-month tour of the US. And we try and like see each other like through the tours, like I'm going in August to see him play at oh my gosh, what's the name of it, the Ryman in Nashville.
Yeah.
And but like when he was in Europe, like we made a vacation out of it because he went and toured Europe, and then I had never been, and so I got to like fly in when he finished his tour, and we spent like 2 weeks like in Europe, you know? So yeah, it's like uh what he gets to do is like super cool, and I know that he's like really grateful like for it, but he can like really like when he's home, he can like really be home and like focus on like his own musicianship and like hanging out with like me and the dogs and stuff like that. So it's really cool.
It is cool.
I'm just like, I'm in all of that. That's just like, once again, another set of like circumstances. Like,
Mhm.
what if something like that guy didn't walk into that club that night?
Yeah.
It's just like
no,
Brian.
exactly.
Yeah, Brian Tillman we interviewed him, but that's like pretty much how he met his wife. He
Yeah.
met his wife at a club in Dallas, and they were going to go see one band, and that band canceled, so that they went to another club to see a different like band, and
Mhm.
that's where he happened to meet his wife.
Whoa.
And so, if the first band would have never canceled, he would have never met his wife.
Totally. It's crazy how like all those tiny little details like shape your entire like life.
Yep.
Yeah. Like if I had never played the bassoon because I was struggling to afford college, I would have never gone to MTSU. I would have never met him, you know? And so it's like I don't know, like same type of thing. It's everything has that like little degree of pushing
Well,
in a direction.
what's one of the things that they say is that like the universe and life is what it is because of a few extra, molecules of carbon at the right point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's just a really, really weird way to think about that. Like life could be completely different if carbon wasn't present at the right specific time at the right specific amount.
It's like butterfly effect type stuff.
Yeah.
You got to emerge. But it's a series of happy accidents.
Yeah.
So,
Totally.
is there something you wish you could bring back? Anything and everything. It doesn't matter from your childhood to band directing to non-band directing.
Oh, I need to think about this. If I could bring anything back. Honestly, yeah, like colorful clothing. Like, I don't know, like or like color in everything. Everything is so like neutral, like
Grayish.
gray and white and beige and all that stuff. And like I think it'd be really cool for everything to just like be way more individual, way more color.
I can get behind that.
The
Yeah.
80s windbreakers,
Oh
No,
yeah.
yeah, like seriously.
the pink, yellow, and
Have you ever
turquoise.
noticed how like a lot of people dress their kids in like neutral colors? I'm like, come on, put a Ninja Turtle shirt on that child.
Yeah,
That
it's okay.
yes.
You know what I wish I could bring back?
The Ninja Turtles.
Saturday morning cartoons. Just Saturday
Ooh.
morning cartoons.
Snick.
Yeah.
We've talked about that one several times.
Or like
I liked it.
turning on the TV and it's like actual channels. You know,
Oh,
it's not
yeah.
like Netflix and like Hulu and stuff. Like
Yeah, ours is Netflix and Hulu, and
Yeah.
it's like you watch what's there.
yeah.
Well, so it was so funny at the hotel thing. They had TVs that you could like technically plug into, and I turned on one of them, and it was the white static. Shh. I was like, oh, I forgot what that was like.
Yeah.
You had to go somewhere in the middle of nowhere to experience it.
Yeah, those were the good old
It
days.
scared you, huh?
Oh, it did.
Right?
It caught me off guard.
Or like y'all know, like when computers like first started, it was like dial up forever. Like it's so crazy how fast
Now, if my computer makes a sound, I'm like, turn it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
that.
We're gonna need to use that as her clip for her intro.
Okay. Sure. We can do that.
Do you have a favorite memory as a band director or as a student?
Yeah. So when I was teaching at Pasadena Memorial, and I think this is just I don't know. I think this is like one of the most wholesome like experiences that I've like had in music. But man, like these kids, like I just still like can't get over like these kids that I like first taught when I was like really, young and first teaching. And we went to this show. It was at the Woodlands High School. It was called the Lone Star Preview. It's like, I think, kind of a big deal contest in Houston. I didn't really know any better, but everyone said that, like, we don't make finals at this contest, so we go to the contest, and then after we perform, we go to another contest and do another show, right? And I didn't really know any better, so like, and that entire year, like, we were just like, trying our best and stuff. And we find out, like, after our run, we were like packing up the bus, we were like, time to go to the next contest. And we found out that we made it into finals for like the first time in like the school history. And so we were like really excited to like tell the kids. And we like went up into the box, like the head director at the school, like he let me go like with him because it was my first like band contest. And he let me like pick the time slot that we would perform in. And like I drew like the last like time slot like of the night. And that, like, just like performing last like is a really cool thing because like you're like the last sound that happens in warm up, and so like when you leave the warm up lot it's like silent. And so that's like really cool experience like for the kids and stuff. um and just like telling the kids that they like made it in and seeing, like, their reactions, but then even better, like, how they showed up to the lot that night was, like, nothing that I've ever seen before. Like, they just, like, they stood taller. They, like, counted with more energy, and, like, it was my first time, like, as a director, seeing kids go from, "Oh, we're not gonna make finals," to, like, believing in themselves. And they like performed that night with just like another like level. And like, I'm like all about like dialing it in and the dynamics and stuff like that, but like the way that they like approached their performance had that extra little bit of like, now I feel like it was like celebratory,
Mhm.
and like we ended up like doing really well at that contest. And like, and it's not even like the placement or anything like that that like excites me, but like seeing that immediate shift in those kids happen. And it's crazy because like that entire week, like I had a talk with them like that Monday before that band contest because they were like not like rehearsing well. And I had this like talk with them and I was like, "Hey, like you need to embrace being a giant band nerd. Congrats. Like you have a Shaco with a giant feather. Like you need to embrace it and you need to like push this week?" And like so like that week they were like really like okay. And like that weekend it led into that. And yeah, I'll like remember that like forever. And that's not like a BOA. It's not like a like whatever. Like it's like it is just a moment in time where kids saw a result of the effort that they put in and then like started believing in themselves more than they previously had. And I think it's like one of my fondest memories of like band in general. Yeah.
So that performance and that means a whole lot to you. Do you have an award or any other performance that means like more to you than others?
I mean, like, as far as like my personal like performance career and stuff, I would say that either finals night at Bluecoats is one of my like most memorable like performances as a human being, just because I knew that I like learned brass for that specifically, and then I was probably never going to play a mellophone again. Like, all those years of like learning this unicorn instrument. And like it like culminated in this thing. And like it felt like time went really slow in that like last run. But like I guess like as a like concert musician, like I've done like chamber groups and stuff like that. But yeah, like I played like a concerto with a like symphony orchestra like when I was in high school, and that was really cool. But I've never had like any like truly like life changing or like major moments performing in like the concert setting that are like super professional in my life, you know? Like I've done like concert, band and, university ensembles and stuff like that. But I think those like emotionally charged or like really memorable ones have really like been in like the marching arts, at least for me personally.
I mean, this is your journey.
Yeah, totally.
You
Yeah.
know, and like for me, I can remember like there there's one performance that I can remember that like I don't know, that meant more to me than others, and it was when I was in the all-state band with Francis Macbeth as our conductor, and I can't remember the piece that was called, but it was oh, I can't remember, but it was just this line with you could hear the bass drum and the timpani, boom, 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 to this giant crescendo climax, and it just had dissonance, and then it released, and it was just like so good. And I just sat there, and I'm playing tuba, and I go like, this is it. This is exactly what I want to feel all the time.
Yeah.
And like I'm still chasing that dragon.
There's a dragon.
Yeah, there's a dragon. But it's just like now I live on the other side of it as an educator, and it's like this year, and I was very fortunate. Like one of our students caught this and like they recorded it, but like the first time our schools made state marching finals in school history. And one of our kids just happened to record when I announced to the kids because we were like the second band to perform, and so I had to kick
told
them
them before the retreat.
Yeah,
Right?
the kids were in retreat, and I had to get them fed, and then into warm up block, and so
Whoa.
like I had to kick them. I was like, we have to go.
Like stuck out of the.
Yeah, we had to sneak out of the upper deck of the Alamo Dome and be like, and so we gathered them in like one of the foyers, and I told them like we've made finals, and like one of the kids got a recording, and there was a whole entire pop, and it was just like a different feeling.
Aw.
It kind of sucked that they weren't able to hear the announcement, but it was, I guess, special because like I was the one that got to announce it to them.
I
Yeah.
love that.
And so it was just like that feeling is something that I'm going to chase for the rest of my life. Like
Mhm.
that feeling, giving those kids that feeling, like that's just, it's just different. I mean, it's probably like the same thing for you, because what happened last year with the Blue Coats?
They won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was that like being on the field when that happened?
Like I will remember it forever. Like like I've been friends with a lot of people that have taught championship drum corps, and I remember my friend Tim Darbone, he works with the Blue Devils, and we were hanging out one time, and he told me like he was talking about Blue Devils 2014, and he was like, yeah, like when like they just show up with like something different. And like last year, like for last season at Bluecoats, like we were at March camp, and like we were watching them like march, and everything was really in time and projected and long and looked like effortless and stuff. And I looked at my coworkers, my friends, and I was like, is this what we think it might be? And we showed up like to spring training, and man, like those members were so inspiring. Like they did not let down for like a single second. And yes, like the instructional staff is there to like teach and stuff, but at the level that it is, it's coaching. And so it's like they are 100% like they were it, and we were just there to like fine tune and coach them to like harness all of it. And man, the entire season was just a dream. Like it was so cool to just watch them like throw down every night. And I remember thinking, like, we would be in, like, the University of, Minnesota, giant stadium, like, rehearsing, and there would be, like it's, like, the blue coats, and then, like, it's, like, the staff, and we're watching them, do their end of the night run, and I just remember thinking, like, "How lucky are we, like, the staff, that we get like, there's no one else in this stadium, and we are getting to witness these human beings make this kind of art at this level." And yeah, I have never seen anything like it. And I've marched blue coats, like I've been around like a lot of championship organizations. Like when I marched, everybody had just come off of Downside Up, which is 2016, the first time that they won. But the encore run after finals was just like magical. Like, all the members, like the staff got to come down to the field level, and like we were just screaming and cheering, and they were having fun, and yeah, it was so like beautiful to witness last year. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite videos to watch is the POV that switches between the different GoPros from the victory
Uh-huh.
run. That is a fun video because everyone it's over at that point, and just
Yes.
hearing the things that they're like saying to each other on the field, it's a very fun video.
Yeah.
I've watched it multiple times.
I know, I still go back and watch it sometimes because 'cause I'm just like, I just love those humans.
And there's one shot where you can see all of the staff, like, gathered by the front ensemble and just,
We're
like
just
it's
screaming.
I know, it's an interesting perspective too, because like, seeing everyone's faces and, like, what that looks like as a performer, like, getting to experience that, it's very uplifting. It's a great watch of, like, 13 minutes of your time or however
Totally.
long it is.
Yeah.
That I there that was a great show. Like you kind of, I mean, you have to find those like catch the lightning in the bottle.
Mhm.
And like last year was definitely for the Bluecoats. Like that is lightning.
That show is, like,
Yeah.
so cool though too.
Yeah, that is
And, like
lightning. And they caught it in that bottle. And you better, I mean, it was like you better hold on.
yes. And, like, the leadership, like, shout out Jonah Hammett, he was the horn sergeant, and he's now on staff, and that doesn't happen, like, very often, but man, they took it, the leadership, and they ran, and, like, it was, like, there was so much respect from the bottom, like, to the top of the leadership with just everybody, like, yeah, I've never seen anything like it, and I hope to like continue to like see that and stuff. But it's just like I think like we were talking about earlier, just like that little degree, like these people ended up in this group, and it just happened to like the connection was right, and the show was fantastic, and yeah, it was so cool to watch. Yeah.
Love the hits at the beginning and then, like, hit, scurry to the other side.
Yeah.
I
Right.
love that.
Yep. And every time before they would play those hits, they would say the word perfect. And it was like at first I was like, "Huh?" And then it became like they're chasing literal perfection.
Mhm.
And the amount of awareness on those hits, like you'll look at like Kevin, the brass caption head, and he's like this at every show, and he'll be like, "Okay." And then it'll be the next one, he'll be like, and the next one, he's like, "Woo!" Like, if they so,
That's cute.
yeah.
That was really good. That was so good. So, do you have any bucket list pieces of music you would like to perform?
Hmm. Honestly, like, anything Maslanka.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Where
I don't like yeah, I don't like, there's so much music that I would like to perform. There's no, like, one piece of music that I'm like, "This is, like, the one." But I would say, yeah, like, I just love Maslanka's work. Um, Probably, like, Testament, um, or, like, if I ever, like, work with, like, a saxophone group, there's a piece that Maslanka wrote called "The Soul is Here for Its Own Joy," and,
I've seen that
oh
one.
my gosh, it is, like, so beautiful.
So, Question: which band do you teach over at Hendrickson? What did you teach this past year as far as concert bands?
I taught the third band.
Third band.
Yeah.
What did you play with that third band?
I did Fumon. It is by so oh my gosh, how do I already forget it? What was his name? Satoshi. Hold on. Let me see. I can't remember who wrote it because it's been like months. Fumon. I just don't want to mess this up. Oh yeah, Hiroshi Hoshina.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a grade 4.
Seen that one? Yes.
Yeah, it's super cool. Yeah, so that was like our that was like our main like piece that we did. Yeah. So
Okay, so Fumon, what was your march?
So I did Amprita Roca this year, and then I did My Soul Canvas by Todd Stalter.
That's a good one. I like that
Yeah.
one. I heard that one for the first time.
It's pretty and it's really achievable, but it's also really like long. Like I think it like repeats just a little too much. But it is beautiful.
What did I play?
By Todd Stalter?
No, it was that piece I played a couple of years ago. It was like As One Listens to the Rain or something like that.
Oh yeah.
It was like this could have ended.
I thought you were going to say For Heaven in the Future.
64 measures ago.
There's lots of pieces like that though, where it's like,
well, if you want to play an attainable Miss Lanka.
Oh, duh. Yeah, it is Miss Lanka, isn't it? Yes, it is.
Illumination.
That is a good piece.
Illumination's a grade 4.
Heard. I'm gonna add that to my list. Check it.
That is a good one.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely Miss Lanka.
That one gets played a lot in like the 4A circle.
Yeah, and it's like ball, ball, ball.
You get all the colors.
There's this beautiful middle section where it's like da, 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 dee, da, and it's Miss Lanka all the way. There's a weird. It's good. It's good. Listen to it. It's fantastic. Nice. So if it wasn't band, what would it have been?
Honestly, like I knew I wanted to be a band director in like 7th or 8th grade. And I was like originally gonna be like a veterinarian or something. But I think now if it like wasn't band, it would be something with people, with like entrepreneurial type of something, or like something like with a nonprofit for sure. Anything that deals with human beings and communication and doing something with purpose. Yeah, I don't think I could ever work an office job or anything like that. I don't think I could work in like finance or any of that. I need like human beings and like a cause or something. So yeah, something like that.
Being around other people is always nice. So COVID must have been real tough on you then.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I actually like spent a lot of COVID like with people. Like I know that it was like,
what?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah. We just had like a little group of us. So it was like, okay, like, yeah.
We won't tell.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a favorite spot in the Austin or greater Austin area that you like to go to for like food? Any recommendations
for like food and stuff? Yeah. Have you ever been to Ramen Tatsuya?
We've been to Tiki Tatsuya.
Oh.
But never to Ramen Tatsuya.
I have been.
It's pretty good.
Have you really?
Yeah. Like that's where I went for Kenny's bachelor party.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the places.
I would really like to go there.
Yeah, we could have.
Yeah. Do you like Thai food?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. There's like a place that's like kind of interesting. It's like interesting Thai food, like different types of Thai dishes, but it's called Sway. And that's really good too.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
We've had lots of recommendations. We talked to a lot of people from Austin, but like for our tenure, we went to the Roosevelt Room.
Nice.
For libations.
Yes.
I like saying libations. It's a fancy word.
I can tell.
Like social lubricant. Then we went to Uchi.
Oh, okay. I haven't been there, but I've heard it's like really good.
It is. It was
It
very,
was fun.
very good.
It was an experience.
Yeah. What did we do tonight? And then we went to Tiki.
Yes.
Was
That
that
was
the
all
other
the places. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are all the places we hit.
But like we got suggested, what was Cinder?
Oh gosh. I have no idea.
No, we got several suggestions.
Where? From whom?
Well, we got one from Kat Norris. Remember?
Kat sent me a bunch of stuff. If you ever, if anyone ever needs like a curated list of places to go in Austin, contact Kat Norris because she will set you up.
Yeah, because Kyle, different Kyle is apparently like infatuated with like restaurants and like culinary arts.
Yeah,
and
like fine dining. Yeah.
Like he is infatuated with it. So he has a whole entire list of things.
Yeah.
So
Like, are we talking like those top restaurants, like an Alinea
It's kind of a
type
miss.
of thing?
Yes,
like that
I
type
think
of
they've
thing?
been
Okay.
to Alinea. I think that was one of the places that they've been fairly recently.
yeah.
But they had a whole list of things.
Because like Robert Herring said, what was his? The Hula Hut?
Hula Hut.
Oh, I've been there. The one next to Mozart's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that place.
So Hula Hut has been one. Interstellar
Yeah.
Barbecue's been one.
A lot of Chewies.
Yeah, Chewy's. I don't know.
A
Yep.
lot of Chewies.
That's not even like an Austin thing.
No. Well,
Like I had Chewy's in like Ohio once.
no.
Yeah.
We went to Scoop and
Oh,
Score.
I guess it is.
Scoop and Score. Have you been to Scoop and Score?
Mm.
It's right across from Vista Ridge High School.
Like right
Oh.
across from it.
Kim Shuttlesworth was the one that recommended it, and then Sean Murphy also recommended it.
Wait, actually, I think we tried to go there once, like after the Vista Ridge contest. Like I went with Jared Huntley and Reed also. I think we tried to go there, but it was like closed or something.
Oh,
They probably
Okay,
closed
I
down
know.
on purpose for that contest.
For
Like,
real, they were like, nope.
yeah. No, thank you. Are y'all going to be at BOA Austin?
Mm-mm, no.
No. Oh. Are you going to do the Vista Ridge contest?
No.
Oh. Man, I'm about to say, those are the contests we're going to.
I know.
Please.
Yeah.
You won't see Nicole.
I know. Sad
I'll
day.
be there.
All right, Nicole, I got some questions for you to answer for me.
All right.
Other than the questions that you've already answered for us, are quick but not quick questions. Rapid fire. Okay, Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus, or Ariana Grande?
Miley Cyrus.
Favorite rom-com?
None of them.
It was like a knife in Jose's heart.
Is pineapple acceptable on pizza?
Yeah.
Is a taco a sandwich?
Yeah. Kinda. Anything is a sandwich if it's between a tortilla or it's between bread. Like a hot dog is also a sandwich.
Podcast is over.
It was nice having you, Nicole.
Toilet paper over or under?
Over.
Which Twix do you prefer, the left or the right?
Why is this such a hard question? Left. Left Twix.
It's always the left.
I don't know.
Okay, do you know what your Patronus is?
Ooh, like Harry Potter
Yes.
thing. Ooh, what do you think it is?
Otter.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. You give me
Honestly?
otter vibes.
I could see that is like my favorite animal. So
Oh!
like, you got it.
Score.
Yes.
Sousa, King, or Fillmore?
Sousa.
Favorite stand tune?
Ooh, that's tough. Caravan.
Ooh.
Worst stand tune?
Hey baby. So over it.
Who do you text the most?
Kyle, probably.
What's your favorite song?
My favorite song. Ooh, a song called "Tell Me" by Soja.
Gotta add that to the playlist somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite store?
Like what kind of store are we talking?
Any store.
Any store. HEB.
Solid choice.
Good answer.
The only
Solid
store
choice.
I regularly frequent.
If you had a walk-up song, what would it be? All right. Okay. If you had a spy code name, what would it be?
By code name, like the Sneaky Spider or something like that.
Sneaky spider.
I was going to say
Yeah.
John Cena after that.
No, no. Do you have a movie you enjoy quoting? Do you have a hidden talent?
Yeah, I was a baton twirler for like a long time.
Oh.
Ooh. Rarely does anyone have an interesting answer to that question. I'm intrigued.
Is there video circulating?
No, there's not.
Oh my goodness. All
Bummer.
right, we're gonna have
But
to
I'm
reach
sure I
out to
could
your
find
dad.
some yeah, we did we did Thriller, and it was
Ooh.
like 70s costume themed with like the like blue dress and like tie-dye with like big boots and stuff, like whole thing. I was like, interesting.
That's fun.
I'm gonna find something. I'm gonna find it. If someone played you in a movie, who would it be?
Ooh, Emma Roberts, is that her name? Wait,
Mhm.
who's the one that plays Hermione? Emma
Watson.
Watson. Maybe her.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Do you, let me see. Oh, what's a bad habit you have that you wish you could break?
Pushing my limits on like arriving just on time.
You hit the snooze button a whole lot, don't you?
No, not at all. I like wake up early and like just like live my life, and then like I live my life right like to the second, and then I'm like, go. Like I'm never late, but I'm like
Close.
I like time it.
Do you have a favorite book?
Yeah, there's one I'm reading right now. I just like I never remember like the names of things, as you can tell with like my UIL program. I'll like be able to tell you like everything about it, but like what's it called? I'm like literally like 100 pages into this book right now.
What's it about?
It's like about like a jazz musician that is like explaining musical concepts but through like spirituality. It's really
Oh.
interesting.
I feel like someone's told us about this book.
Hey Kyle, this is my fatal flaw, is that I do not remember the name of anything. I'm surprised I knew the name to my favorite song. Effortless Mastery by Kenny Werner. It's really, really intriguing.
If you could have any fictional character as a best friend, who would it be?
Any fictional character, period.
Any fictional character.
From Lilo and Stitch.
Ooh, solid. If you could invent a holiday, what would you celebrate?
Ooh. I feel like there's already a lot of holidays. Maybe like something for like autumn. I don't know. Something for like fall.
Mm-hmm.
People sleep on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Or I'm not talking like Thanksgiving. Like, I don't know, like
Thanksgiving is too late
maybe
in the
like a
game.
Friendsgiving, but that's already like a thing.
Like the leaves are changing colors.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a leaves,
Turning a new leaf.
turning new leaf day. Well,
New Leaf Day.
well, leaf day. Yeah.
Leaf day.
Leaf day.
I think Canada
Leaf
celebrates
Eric's
that.
Day. Like,
If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
probably the ability to fly or teleport. I think that'd be cool.
Okay, last one. Okay, if you could, I think we've kind of already answered this question. If you could have any one animal, real or fictional, as a pet, what would it be?
Ooh. Okay, no, we already like we're talking about otters and stuff, but like if I could have anything as a pet, I would honestly say like a dolphin or something. Like if I had like a giant pool or something, I think having a dolphin would be really cool.
Yeah.
Do you know there's like an Airbnb place here outside of Waco that has wildlife on it, like giraffes,
They don't have dolphins.
but they have a session where you can
swim with
otters.
Oh, that's cool.
It's not even an Airbnb type thing.
But
It's just
otters aren't like friendly.
Oh, apparently these are.
Oh, they're trained otters.
they have other encounters. They have like you can have dinner with giraffes. I don't remember what else they have, but they have a lot of stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's not. Is it like a zoo, like that kind of thing?
They don't call it that.
It's like a
no.
wildlife.
It's like a
Oh, it's a wildlife.
Lodge.
Preserve.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
something. It's something. But it's outside of Waco.
It's also prohibitively expensive.
Yes.
Because I've looked it up before and it's like
You must be affluent.
it is like it is expensive.
Money,
That
money,
dinner
money.
with the giraffes is like
It's like $1,000 an hour or something. It whatever it is. When I looked it up, I was like, "Oh, this sounds fun." And then I looked at it, and I was like, "Nope,
This is less fun now.
this is fun for somebody else."
Mhm.
Okay, got it. Our final question of the night. This is the one that gets everyone. Is there a Dairy Queen in your hometown?
Yes, there is.
Ooh.
There is.
Okay, is there a difference between like South Carolina Dairy Queens and Texas Dairy Queens?
Okay. Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Really?
But I only ever when I go to Dairy Queen, I only get the Blizzard. And I think that's like kind of their thing. Like if you like turn it upside down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like but I had Dairy Queen Blizzard in South Carolina and then one in Houston one time. And it was basically the same thing. So but I don't really go there often, but yeah, it seemed the same.
Okay.
Why?
Do you have a Blizzard order?
Yes, the cotton candy one.
The cotton candy.
Ooh.
Mhm.
That's the first time we've heard that one.
Ooh.
Good one.
Might have to try that.
They have it right now.
Oh, might
Do
have to
they?
do it.
Yeah.
Might have to do it.
They do.
Honestly, like life-changing. Very good.
Wow.
We've been on a quest to get sponsored by Dairy Queen.
What have they gotten back to you at all?
Oh no. They
no.
watch my stories, but they
Because
Wow, that's actually
Mm-mm.
kind of a big deal.
Mm,
Dairy Queen saw my story.
I've seen them in there a few times.
So and that's kind of one of the markers that we say about like Texas
It's
small
a Texas
towns.
stop sign.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a Texas stop
Well,
sign.
because the smallest of towns typically has a Dairy Queen.
This is so strange that you guys like mentioned this because like Kyle and I were just having a conversation about a Dairy Queen in Texarkana where like it was like there's only a Dairy Queen on the Texas side and so like everybody from the Arkansas side like went to Texas just for Dairy Queen and
This tracks.
this whole
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is very much a like my hometown had one.
Well, when we drive from here to Corpus Christi and we go through like all the small towns, they almost all of them have a Dairy Queen, and they're like tiny towns a lot of the times, but they have a Dairy Queen. They have a Dairy Queen.
Oh yeah. It's a staple.
Yeah.
Gotta have ice cream.
Now the
Yeah.
town I grew up in did not have a Dairy
It's
Queen.
because you didn't really grow up in a town.
Oh, it was a community.
Community.
Unincorporated.
Where did you grow up?
Outside of Waco, it's
Oh.
a place called Axtell.
I have heard of that.
There's like a 2A school there. They probably, if you host an indoor competition, they probably go to that.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of place like you go out into the marching field and there are literally cows across the
Oh
street.
yeah, we had chickens on our marching field. But it's like the type of town it is. It's not a town. It's not like like I said, it's not incorporated, but there's a school and there's a post office and there's a store. It's not like a gas station or anything. It's a store. And it's one of the stores that's like it has a bar in the back of it, and so they only serve beer. And like people smoke inside still and stuff like
my
that.
God.
It's that kind of place. And then
Wow.
there was a big hubbub recently because they built a Dollar General. That was a big deal. And then there was also another big deal, like this is like breaking news, but a while back, maybe like a year ago, they built a gas station out on the highway. So it's not like in the proper town, but it's like off the highway, and it was like a local gas station. And apparently the nice people that built it for the community, they've partnered with someone else, or they've like partially sold or something like that, and people are very upset about it because now there's a Valero and there's talk of a Sonic replacing the cafe, and it's just everyone's up in arms about.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
This
it's
is-
only like a year old.
Yeah. It's
Small
interesting.
town.
Apparently Valero wouldn't have anything to do with them at first because their parking lot wasn't paved. And to be Valero, your parking lot has to be paved. So
Did the parking lot get paved though?
They did. They paved the parking lot.
This is like
Wow.
ultimate small
Slap
town
that
stuff.
Valero name
That
on there.
is totally small town.
Sellouts.
Like Valero wouldn't partner us. Why? Because our
The parking lot
wasn't paved.
Mhm. Yep.
That's when you know.
It was very controversial. People are all up in arms about it.
Yeah, you ever want to find out some dirt? Like what you need to do is get into like the,
Yeah,
the
just-
Facebook groups.
Just ask me
Oh,
to get into the
yeah.
Facebook group for Axel in the Know.
Put me in.
Oh,
You'll
yeah.
find out some stuff. You're like, ooh, who's doing that? Well, what?
Mhm. There's a lot to know.
Well, Alexa, I think that's all I got.
I'm tapped out. I don't have any other knowledge to share.
Nicole, do you have anything for us? Well, Nicole, thank you so much for being on. This has been great and this has been enlightening. And we are so glad that you agreed to be on the pod with us.
Your story is also very inspiring, and I just think it's important for people to listen to.
Thank you so much. It's been
Yeah.
so cool, like just talking with you guys,
For
yapping
sure.
it with you guys.
Yeah, anytime. Well, thanks for listening to Band Yap. We'll see you next time. Bye.
We out.
Don't forget, FanPledge is changing the game for band fundraising. Shawn Murphy can help you ditch the product sales and still bring in record-breaking support for your program. And with the 10% guarantee, there's zero risk. Give Shawn a call at 903-948-7348 to get started. One more time, 903-948-7348. FanPledge, fundraising that actually works.